across the UK, online and on DAB.
The wild man of late night radio, Iain Lee.
Differently interesting nocturnal emissions from a legend of late night radio. On air and off the leash.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Here's the thing about Kanye West. He's a dick. And finally, I'm coming out. I've been erring, I've been umming, I've been ahhing, I've been sitting on the fence. I'm coming out and saying it. Kanye West is an absolute bell cheese. And today, it was revealed that just before his death, shortly before his death, Leonard Cohen, one of the greatest users of the English language there has ever been, even if you don't like the singing, even if you don't like the music, his use of words is, they're going to be studying his words 100 years hence. Like those of Siegfried Sassoon, the hair poet. And just before he died, he wrote a poem about Kanye West. And poetry on the radio I don't normally dig, but this time we'll go with it. This is called Kanye West is Not Picasso by Leonard Cohen. Kanye West is not Picasso. I am Picasso. Kanye West is not Edison. I am Edison. I am Tesla. Jay-Z is not the Dylan of anything. I am the Dylan of anything. I am the Kanye West of Kanye West. The Kanye West of the great bogus shift of bullshit culture from one boutique to another. I am Tesla. I am his coil. The coil that made electricity soft as a bed. I am the Kanye West thinks he is when he shoves your ass off the stage. I am the real Kanye West. I don't get around much anymore. I never have. I only come alive after a war, and we've not had it yet. Come on! Kanye West is a jerk, right? And here's why. Here's why. Remember when was it Taylor Swift he pushed off the stage because who is he married to?
Kanye West, Kim Kardashian.
Okay, so was he upset? Who was he upset that Beyonce didn't get?
Oh, I can't even remember.
Remember
I
that?
think so.
About 3-4 years ago. So Taylor Swift wins, I don't know, best album at some bullshine music awards. And Kanye West is so annoyed, he gets up on stage, pushes her to one side and says, no. Beyonce or one of his chums should have won the award, right? And from that moment on, Kanye, has he ever apologised for that? I don't think he's apologised for that. Can we find... This is tonight's show, is we're going to hunt Kanye West down and we are going to find him. We're not going to kill him. We're not going to kill him. We're not going to kill him. We're going to maim him. No, we're not. We're going to tell him he's been a very naughty boy.
2009, he bravely confronted the 19-year-old Taylor Swift.
Was that 9 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She defeated Beyonce to win Best Female Video for her country pop teen anthem, You Belong With Me.
OK.
West jumped on stage and interrupted her mid-speech. Bravely.
Big, I mean, he must have been like 30 then? So he's a big lad. I imagine. He's got broad shoulders. He might be 5'2" for all we know. So a big lad with 10 years on a young woman jumps up on stage, the tough guy, and pushes her out of the way and says, no, you've given this to the wrong person.
Yeah, it should be Beyonce's. Meanwhile, Beyonce, in the audience, is seen looking absolutely flabbergasted.
As she would, because she's a good Christian woman.
The crowd booed, and later on in the ceremony, Beyonce stopped everything and got Swift back on stage so she could have her moment.
Good for her. So here's the thing. So Kanye West, when you finished... he went to see Donald Trump, right? This is... OK, so that's weird. But it's not that weird. It's like Noel Gallagher going and giving Tony Blair a rim, which I believe happened in the late 90s. It's the same thing, right? But so Kanye West went to Donald Trump's house today, but here's the weird thing. He took Kid Rock with him?
What? I didn't know that.
Did he take... I think... Have I got this right? Or as kind of the LSD I took in 1996, is that suddenly kicking in? Have I got this right, that Kanye West took Kid Rock with him to see Donald Trump? What the hell is going on? So here's the thing about the
It's true.
He did! He took Kid Rock. And do you remember, here's the thing, Kid Rock used to be like a rapper, didn't he? And now he's country rock. What is going on? Kid Rock. He took Kid Rock, who made a porno with Pamela Anderson. Do you remember that?
Was that him?
That was Kid Rock, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, that was... I'm sure.
Pamela Anderson was with Tommy Lee.
Oh, maybe that was with Tommy Lee then.
Yeah.
But he went out with Pamela Anderson.
Yeah,
they
did.
probably made a porno together. Kid Rock used to be a rapper. Now he's a country rock star, and he's hanging out with Kanye West and the President of the United Kid Rock!
I actually don't think Kanye's very well, though, because didn't he have a breakdown a couple of years back? Or last year?
Okay.
Yeah, I seem to remember. And Kim was, terribly worried about him and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, well, then he needs...
His behaviour is erratic.
Then he needs to be sectioned and executed.
Well.
No. In that case, then don't... Then someone needs to take him aside.
I think the problem with Kanye is that no one tells Kanye anything.
I'll tell him. Get me Kanye's phone number. Sam, your job tonight is to get me Kanye West's phone number. Kanye, if you're listening, I will tell you the truth.
So no one tells Kanye anything, and he's getting together with another king of no one can tell me anything, Donald Trump.
And the referee in that situation? It's Kid Rock. Kid Rock.
I don't think that's even his real name.
Tough guy gets up on stage and not only humiliates a 19-year-old young woman and ruins her moment, also humiliates Beyonce, who would have been, I don't know how old she would have been, 25 maybe then, I don't know, probably a bit older actually, she's a little older than she.
But also, it was the VMAs. What does Beyonce care?
But he humiliates both of them, so no, Kanye. And also... Am I going to say something that's going to get me in trouble? I mean me personally, in terms of what some people think I stand for. We can have the conversation, because I don't quite know what my thoughts are, right? The whole... As you know, I'm very up for talking about mental health. Some people think I talk about it too much, and that's fine, right? I talk about it as much as I want to. And I will talk about my meds today, because my head is feeling hot, but not in the good sense, in the bubbly sense. I've got lots of bubbles behind my eyes. Some of you will get that. But is there a danger? Is there a danger? I'm asking this as a question. 0344 499 1000. Is there a danger that we allow people to fall on the defence of mental health issues after or during the time that they're doing something that is actually rude and controversial? Do you know what I mean? That someone does something rude and controversial and goes, I've got mental health issues, and a lot of people go, OK, fine, well, we'll let that one pass. And I don't know the answer. I tell you why. Someone had a pop at me today, and I'm not going to go into the specifics, so I don't want to embarrass the person, but some of you will have seen it on Twitter. Someone had a pop at me claiming that my talk about the medication I'm on was irresponsible because I'm not a doctor, and that someone he knew was taking the same medication that I was on because of me. Well, first of all, I don't believe that, because you can't go to a doctor and go, hey, you know that bloke who stole strawberries on I'm a Celebrity? He takes mirtazapine. Can I get some as well? It sounds great. Doesn't work like that. So I don't believe that story at all. But what was used, and I'm not going to identify the person, because it's not about the person. It's not about the person. It's not a personal attack. But what was used a couple of times in the comments were the fact that this person who was making very untrue comments about me, borderline libelous actually, cited that they had 2 mental health issues, and so therefore any comeback from me or from the people following me should bear that in mind. In fact, there shouldn't be a comeback. Now, the two, I don't know if one would class as mental health issues, but one of them was ADHD and one of them was anxiety. Bear in mind, it was hard for me to post this because I have ADHD and anxiety. OK, I was with you when I saw it. My kind of response would be, well, if you suffer from anxiety, if one suffers from anxiety, and I do this, but if one suffers from anxiety, then one should perhaps try and avoid unnecessary confrontational situations that may potentially cause or exacerbate anxiety. I'm really choosing my words really carefully, okay? Because I'm not telling people what to do. I'm just... If you know you suffer from anxiety and you make a negative statement about someone in a public forum, you need to know that there will be replies from either that person or people who like that person. And is that going to cause you more anxiety? Is the point you're making I'm doing a flowchart with my hands. Is that going to cause you more anxiety? If the answer is no, then continue. If the answer is yes, it then goes, well, is the anxiety that's potentially going to be caused worth... Is the point you want to make worth the anxiety that you might get? If no, don't make point. If yes, make point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm explaining it really badly.
I do that flowchart, and I don't have anxiety, right?
Yeah.
If I'm going to wade into something on Twitter, I do work out whether there's any point to it and whether I can handle the worst case scenario, which is a pile-on.
And I've done it. I've gone in and not fast-forwarded the tape, as we say, and been burnt by the reaction, and that's something I'm learning to try and do. I'm having a great time arguing with... Not arguing. I'm having a great time just flicking the ears of some Monkees fans on a Facebook page because I kind of hinted that I didn't like the new Monkees album, and people are furious at it. Furious! And they're telling me what I should have said and how I should have phrased. It's great. I'm just flicking their ears. That I can handle. But I have in the past waded into people like, who's that racist? Paul Joseph Watson and people like that. And then the backlash has been so huge and so personal that actually it's got, flipping it. I did not enjoy that for a second. And I wonder, and we can have this conversation the day after World Mental Health Day, I wonder if sometimes we use the excuse of, well... They had a breakdown a year ago. I'm not saying that's what you were doing.
No.
But they had a breakdown. They suffer from depression.
I do think his behaviour is very erratic.
Yeah. But him to one side, do we sometimes, people come out and do outrageous things and then we go, well, yeah, but they're suffering from mental health. Here's the thing. The only comparison I can think of, 0344 499 1000, by the way. We've got some fun stuff as well. I want the best album opening tracks of all time. I think you'd be hard-pushed to beat Barbara O'Reilly from the album Who's Next by The Who. I think you'd be hard-pushed to beat that. The only equivalent I can think of is... and Cunni are coming on tonight. Sounds like a Korean boy band. They're not. Yet. The only comparison I can think of, and we mentioned this the other day... Here we go. We mentioned this the other day, is... and let's talk about me specifically. When I was taking vast amounts of drugs and drinking a bit, but it was mainly taking drugs, I did some horrendous things to people. I never sexually assaulted. I wasn't one of those people, but I was very, very mean. I was never very rarely physical, very mean, manipulative, lying, basically. And I did some cold things to people who were very close to me. Now, I did those cold, cruel things because of my disease of addiction, okay? So my disease of addiction caused me to do those cold, cruel things, right? But when I got better, I had to accept responsibility for those cold, cruel things I did as a result of my disease. I had to accept responsibility and do my very best to make amends to those people, whether that meant apologising directly. In NA, you make indirect or direct amends. Direct amends is I go up to you and I say, look, I behaved really badly when we were going out with each other, and I'm really sorry, and this is why I did it, but I feel ashamed, and if there's anything I could... And then the person who you're apologising to can either go, as a lot of people have with me, hey, I really appreciate the apology, it's cool, don't worry about it, or they can hold their hand up and say, I don't accept your apology, I think you're a shit, or they can not even meet you.
Am I right in thinking as well that... if you making amends or attempting to make amends would cause further harm, you don't do it.
You make I can't remember, step 9, isn't it? It's direct or indirect amends to those people we harmed, except where to do so would cause more damage to them or ourselves.
Right.
So you've got to weigh all that up. And an indirect amend would be... an indirect amend would be, supposing I stole £100 off you, I'd kind of just PayPal you £100, or I'd give £100 to charity, or, supposing I stole a load of clothes or something, I'd go and donate the same amount of money to a charity that gave clothes to people. That kind of vibe, right? So I did horrendous things when I was on drugs as a result of my disease, but when I got better, I had to go back and accept that I had done those things, and I had to make amends and take responsibility. And I wonder if maybe that with the mental health thing, that some quarters, not all of them, are too easy to write off people's inappropriate behaviour because they had a breakdown.
Yeah, listen. I think if someone is still ill, then that's one thing. If someone has the wherewithal to say this behaviour is because of this, and then step back from it and go, so there you go.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
No, and also, if I was a druggie now, and I was treating you badly, even though you would have the knowledge to know that it was my disease, you would still be well within your rights to not want to talk to me, to complain about me, to get me fired. You would still be within your rights to protect yourself in any way, whichever way it was, and however much understanding you had of the disease.
And it would be healthy for me to do that, and in the long term, it might be more healthy for you to know that there was a boundary there.
Can we get really heavy at the start of the show? Let's get a bit heavier, then we'll get a bit lighter. I think Ken's called in to tell us about his favourite opening track of an album. Good evening, Ken.
Good evening there, Ian and Kathy. It's good to talk to you.
Okay, are we going to have a conversation, or are you just going to call me the Antichrist?
No, I'm not going to call you the Antichrist in the least. No. I want to talk about a serious situation which you brought up here. This is very important.
Okay, here we go.
In our nation today, the depression and mental problems have certainly seemed to arise all over the nation, Ian.
Yes, and if you're going to say that's because we turned our back on Jesus, I'd suggest you put the phone down now, Ken, because that's rubbish.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say this. The answer to our problems lies in the person, the Lord Jesus Christ.
Thanks very much for your call, Ken. What a load of dangerous, self-serving, arrogant nonsense. Hey, listen, if Jesus works for you to solve your problem, and I know people that have got clean from booze and drugs through Jesus, if that works for you, man, fantastic. If Jesus helps pull you out of your depression, I've not got a problem with that. It will work for some people. But to say that people are mentally ill because of they don't love Jesus, Ken, is dangerous. It's what about Christians that are alcoholics and drug addicts? What about Christians that are struggling with mental health issues? Where does that put them? That makes them think, well, hang on, if I'm depressed and I'm a Christian and I love Jesus, I can't be a good enough Christian. I must be doing this wrong. So, Ken, no, sorry, mate, that's poisonous, that's dangerous, and when there are brothers and sisters of mine around the world killing themselves because of these diseases we're talking about, then I'm afraid I can't let you come in and do a shit on the table and then walk off. So, thanks, but no thanks. 0344 499 1000, this is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
I do not think you will find... By the way, this is how the show works, OK? Is we flip and flop. There are clunky gear changes. We go from the heavy to the light like that. And we'll be doing that probably more so the next few shows than usual, because I'm coming off my meds and I'm wired. I'm going to go and French kiss Sam in a minute. That's how wired I am.
What has Sam done to deserve it?
Don't run, boy! Oh, as long as he consents. I would not want to...
He doesn't consent. I think we can...
Sam, do you consent? He's consented.
He does consent.
But, of course, when I say I'm going to French kiss the young lad that works here, first of all, he's well over age, and secondly, it's consensual. Okay, I want you to make sure that we all know that. But so it's day 2 of cutting down the venlafaxine. There's no second L, from 150 milligrams to 75 milligrams, and I got the sweats. My eyes are pricking. There's bubbles behind my eyes. My stomach feels a little bit nauseous. Today I was sat on the sofa for an hour watching A Place in the Sun and 4 in a bed and just crying because... Well, not crying, but tears were forming, thinking life is just pointless. And then I went... Man, that's chemicals.
How can you think that watching Place in the Sun and 4 in the bed most of all?
I'll tell you why 4 in the
Best
bed.
show ever.
I'll tell you why 4 in the bed, because it wasn't a run of 5. It was 1 episode, so I would have to wait until tomorrow to.
Man, no.
So that is unfair. And I feel nauseous. I've got a bit of a headache. I've had a couple of Nurofen to try and lift that. Got the sweats on, as you can see. But I'm all right. Here's the thing. I mentioned this, and so I'm losing I'm rambling a bit because I'm losing my train of thought, or more than losing my train of thought. And it just happened then. Is that I'm seeing, I'll be on a sentence. And instead of seeing the end of a sentence, or instead of that sentence splitting into 2, and suddenly in the middle of a sentence, I'll see like 50 different ends to that, 50 different directions I can go in at the same time. So that's what's happening. I'm aware I'm speaking very, very fast, so I'm going to try. I've got a little bit of the grinding of the back of the gums, like the 90s back teeth. So it's going to be a little bit rocky road up, rocky road'em for a few days, and then we'll see We'll just see what happens. Like I always say, don't just stop taking your meds. Always do it with the suggestion of your doctor. Or the supervision of your doctor. That's how I'm doing it. He has suggested I make the bold leap from 150 to 75 milligrams. Try that for a month. If it's not too rocky at the end of a month, we're coming off them completely. And who knows, I might be able to ejaculate, Sam. I might be able to. Here's my worry, right? Here's my worry, okay? Because one of the things I can't do on these pills is come. Baby, come, baby, come. Right? Can't do it very well. Sometimes I can, but it's just a lot of work and you get bored and you think, I can't be bothered.
You're bored.
You get bored. But my worry is that when I come off these pills, that still won't be fixed, and that's possible, or that I won't be able to get it up, or that there'll be some other kind of sexual misfunction going on. But, you know, this is life.
Well, and that anxiety won't be helping matters.
No, not at all. And you won't be getting this on the Tom Snorbrick show. You won't be hearing about Tom Snorbrick ejaculating on LBC, OK? So this is unique. 0344 499 1000. Well, basically what I'm saying is, guys, I need you to call in for tonight and tomorrow and probably Monday and Tuesday next week to give the show a little bit of focus, to steer the show a little bit, because otherwise it's going to be the even more random ramblings of a man in mental turmoil.
And what am I, chopped liver?
Yes. Slimy and red. I don't know what that means. Let's get Alistair involved in the conversation. Good evening, Alistair.
Hi, Ian.
You name me a better opening track than Barbara O'Reilly from Who's Next. You name me one. I bet you can't.
Shine on, you crazy diamond.
Terrible. Pink Floyd, one of the worst bands of all time. Slow. How can anyone make music so slow when they were on so many drugs?
Well, I'll have to disagree.
Well,
can I just talk about the vaccine briefly?
Yeah, go on, quickly. Or slowly, I don't care.
I tried to come off the vaccine.
Yes.
And to be honest, I didn't manage it, so I went back on it. But the worst side effect I got was that, I don't know if you've had it yet, but that feeling of as if you're almost likely to have a fit.
I've not had a potential fitting. I'm getting electric shocks behind my brain, and I'm getting traces when I turn my head quickly, like when I used to take acid. I can see the lights.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That sort of electro sort of feeling. It's like your brain's been left behind your head.
Yes, yeah. That's a good way of putting it. You turn your head, and it takes half a second for your brain to catch up. That's it.
But I wish you well anyway. I hope it works for you.
Well, we'll see what happens. I appreciate that, Alistair. Thank you very much indeed. We're doing it because the time feels right. Got a nice house. Divorce is almost done. Should be done by Christmas. What a Christmas present, man. What a Christmas present. I got another letter saying that the decree nisi has gone through. It went through last week. And I never know. I don't recognise those. I've had a few divorce letters, and you get them. Oh, I've got a letter. What's? Oh, Jesus! And I just sit there, and each time it just hit. You were on the video phone to me once when I opened one. And I went, oh God, I've just got this. Enough hard work getting divorced. It's horrendous. I've been speaking to Andy Partridge about it from XTC. Bizarrely, one of my favourite songwriters has been giving me marital or divorcetal advice. And he said to me ages ago, when it looked like it was going to happen, he said, because he's been through a divorce, he said, it is like you are at the start, it is like you're at the deep end of a swimming pool full of SH1T, and you are covered and you can't see anything but SH1T, and it's horrible, and you're walking towards the shallow end, but it just takes so long, and you can't breathe, and you're smothered in SH1T, and you just think, I'm never going to get out of this. But slowly, your head starts to come out of the shit, your neck comes out, and after a while, you will find yourself climbing out of the shallow end and going and having a shower, and then you can get on with your life again. And he said that will, and he told me this like 2 years ago. I remember thinking, well, I don't know, but I spoke to him a couple of days ago, and he said, "How's the divorce going?" I said, "Well, do you know what? I can see I'm in the shallow end, and I'm a few steps away from pulling myself out of this pool of SH1T, and then I'm going for a shower, and I can see the end inside, and there's a lot of sadness around it. Everyone talks about, such and such got divorced, and Katie Price got divorced, and such mch mum and dad got divorced.
Saying, it's too easy to get divorced.
No, it's not.
Days.
It's really difficult. You've got to lie. You got to if you just don't want to be married to the person you're with, you can't say, I don't want to be married to that person. We don't want to be married. It didn't work. You've got to. It's either cruel treatment or it's infidelity. And I think
I thought it was unreasonable. Isn't unreasonable behaviour?
Unreasonable behaviour is cruel treatment.
Oh,
Sorry,
is it?
Is that. So unreasonable behaviour is like not talking or not sharing your money or that's the vague one, right? But you've got to put that down. You can't go, it didn't work. It didn't work out. One of you has to be named as the bad person.
So even though you might be trying to do it amicably without throwing any blame around, you both kind of agree that it's sad, but it just doesn't work anymore. One of you's got to take it.
Yeah, one of you
and
has
the other one's got to let the other one have it.
Here's the thing. I think they should make divorce easier. This whole thing about it being easy, it's not. It's really, really not. It takes ages and ages, months and months and months. It's expensive if you're doing it through a solicitor. Even if, as we have, you've agreed everything. You know, you can kind of do it on your own, but if we've agreed it and I'm still paying, God, another bill for £600.
It seems a lot easier in America, because obviously I listened to Keith and the Girl, and Keith and his wife split up, and within about 6 weeks they were divorced.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's just because he dealt with a lot. The thing is, they say everything as it happens on that show, so I don't think he was keeping a lot of sort of stuff secret. I think he started saying it as soon as it was happening. It seemed to happen a lot faster for him.
It takes ages, and we kind of held back a little bit and didn't maybe get, but it takes about sort of 3 to 6 months, partly because there's such a backlog, so it's got to go through the courts. We should be done by I think, probably the week before Christmas, which is nuts. And I'm in a much better place than I was 6 months ago in that I've got this nice house and I'm not living in a bedsit, which was horrendous.
And you can see the children at your place.
I can see the kids can come over and stay with me now because I wouldn't let them see that flat. It wasn't a flat, it was a room. I don't want them seeing me living in a room. So they've been over 3 times. They're coming over not this weekend, next weekend. I might be bringing them into the studio next Friday. So everybody, best behaviour, please. It will get very farty in here.
I was going to say, they should be on the best behaviour, surely.
But it's
you've missed another thing that you've started doing recently. Cooking.
I've been cooking.
Iain Lee made my tea tonight.
Yeah, I made some chilli. Some hot chilli, hot spicy chilli.
And what did you do because you were feeling fancy?
I put some dark chocolate in it. Yeah, that's right. I'm cooking, man. I'm cooking. I'll cook you something. I'll cook you a little something next week. Sam, I'm going to cook a little something. Me and Cal, I'll include you in that. All right, you're in. So divorce should be easier. 0344 499 1000. By the way, because I've just looked at the clock. I have no idea what we've spoken about for the last 31 minutes. It's going to be one of them shows. So I think divorce should be easier because it drags on and it's expensive. And it's horrendous. But it's the emotional thing. You know, this letter came yesterday or today saying the decree nisi thing. And now... So I think what happened... I don't really understand it. I am paying as little attention to what my solicitor tells me as I possibly can and still know what I have to do. Because I just don't want to know the mechanics of it. And I just tell... My solicitor tells me stuff. She goes, do you understand? And I say, do you know what? I don't really, but I'm really happy with what you're doing. I'm happy with the arrangement that me and my wife have got. So just tell me where I've got to sign and let's get through to the end. I don't want to know the ins and outs of how it works and the petitioning and all of that stuff. So I think we got the decree nisi, which is like kind of the halfway point, and that means we now send to the court the financial agreement we've come up with. It's like dissolving a business. I'll pay you this and you give me that. It's but we got there and that's cool, and that was done quite amicably, and I want to provide for my kids and make sure that my ex-wife is I don't want anyone turfed out. I want the kids looked after. I want her to be comfortable. So then that gets sent off and the court looks at it and goes, yeah, that looks about right. And then you're divorced. But getting this letter saying you've got your decree nisi, and there were some documents in there to read to help you understand what's going on. I didn't want to read those. It's just sad. It's sad. It's that thing I've mentioned before. It's the F word of just feeling like a failure. You know, because when I married my wife, and I'm aware I'm talking about her a bit too much maybe, but when I married her, we were in love, you know, and this was going to be forever. This was going to be forever, you know, and I was determined that it was going to be, and it didn't work for a number of reasons, a lot of it my fault, but it didn't work. And so I feel like a failure. And you can't help. It's like when you split up with anyone. I don't know if you've ever had this, Catherine, when you split up with a boyfriend. And you spend quite a bit of time mooning and thinking about what it was like when you got together and when it was good and when it was exciting and when it was thrilling and when you couldn't wait to... And I feel sad that time is, that's a decade ago, and that time disappeared a long time ago.
Of course you do. You're grieving.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. Yeah.
But
that's what it is.
I can only talk about breakups that I've had. And I was very upset. But the big one, my first proper boyfriend, we went out for 5.5 years, and it kind of petered out and everything. But I was very upset, actually.
Is that a clue to his name, Peter Out?
No. I was really upset. I didn't show him that. But then after a while, you start to be able to think about things without bursting into tears. And then you start to be able to mention them in conversation without hating them, or it kind of it gets easier, doesn't it, with time?
Yeah.
Or do you just get used to it like you do with other grief?
Maybe. I feel guilty that I'm now living somewhere nice. I mean, they're in a great house, right? But I feel guilty that I'm living somewhere nice, and I will, wiping the kitchen down today, and I just felt really guilty that I've got a nice kitchen, and that my wife's never going to see it. She's not going to want to come round, and the boys...
You don't know that at this point.
Okay, well, maybe. But the boys are saying, I just feel guilty. I feel guilty for all the mistakes that I made, all of the things that I could have changed or done differently, or,
But that gets you nowhere.
Yeah.
What you do now is go, right, how do I make sure that doesn't happen again, and how do I make it not worth it, that's not the right thing to say, but how do I make sure that I'm a better person for it?
Oh, no, we've got no phone calls. I guess this is heavy, man. This is the grown-up show. This is the late-night alternative grown-up show. I'm Iain Lee, that's Catherine Boyle. If you want to give us a call, 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The late-night alternative with Iain Lee. Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. The best album opening track, please. You cannot beat Barbara O'Reilly by The Who on Who's Next. Hey, and next week, this is brilliant, man. I love this job. We've got some really cool things coming up, right? Next week, I think, is it next Thursday?
Yes.
Catherine and I are going to the South Bank Centre, just down the road from here, for part of the London Literary Festival. Can you Google it and see who's doing the Q&A? Because it should be me, obviously. But we're going for the London Literary Festival. We're going to go and watch Roger Daltrey in Conversation. Roger Daltrey.
It's Mike Reid.
Shut up.
It's not Mike Reid.
Oh, God. So, tell us about the Calypso song your grandfather sang in 1862.
I hear you played tennis. Doesn't say.
Oh, man. I love The Who, right? I love Roger Daltrey. And I am thrilled. We managed to blag. He's got his autobiography. I think it's out. I certainly got sent a copy of it today.
Will Hodgkinson, author of Guitar Man and Song Man and chief rock and pop critic for The Times.
Oh, all right.
Fair enough.
This guy's going to know his stuff. I know the name Will Hodgkinson, actually. I recognise the name. He's going to know his stuff. Oh, this is going to be a joy then. So I guess it's going to be maybe 45 minutes, an hour, of us sat in the audience listening to Roger Daltrey, who I really love his stuff he did with The Who, which is something I actually said to him when I met him. I really love the songs you did with The Who.
Bless him. He was very nice about it.
He was very polite. We're going to sit in conversation, listen to him being interviewed next Thursday. Fantastic. Looking forward. I've got so many good books to read. I've got that. Got the Eric Idle book. We tried to get Eric Idle on the show and we didn't. The Bernard Cribbins book is coming, and we're working on getting Cribbins. I'm waiting for a cheeky little reply from a PR woman called Jess, who's going to let me know. So, yeah, we're going to go and see Roger Daltrey next. I think there are tickets, by the way, guys, if you want to go. I should probably say that, as they've given us some free ones. If you want to go and see Roger Daltrey next Thursday at the South Bank, I think it's about 7. We're going about 6:30 for drinks. I don't know if we're going to have drinks with Roger, but we're going to be there. We'll go and see that. And we will report back. Of course we'll report back and let you know. I'm not going to the screening of Frank this weekend because I've decided to have a lazy weekend at home. But good luck to everybody who is going. And then the week after that, I've got us tickets to go and see John Ronson at the Leicester Square Theatre. I love watching John Ronson talk. Seeing him do a live event is what inspired me to go and do Iain Lee versus Radio. Because his shows are funny, but they're not a comedy night. And so seeing someone talk for 2 hours, I think I saw him at Jackson's Lane and Leicester Square, and I think I've seen him a couple of times. Seeing someone talk for 2 hours and it not being a laugh fest, I thought, I think I might be able to do something similar to that. And I did. So I love John Ronson, and every time we meet him, he's always so polite to me, so charming. He invited us into his house.
We went to his house, and we saw him in New York. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Storytelling night. It was great.
Oh, we did, didn't we? Yeah. So we got that, and then the week after, we're taking the night off. I think it's the 30th of October, Tuesday the 30th. You and I were going to Swindon, to the Swindon Arts Centre, to see Terry Chambers and Colin Moulding, half of XTC, under the name TC&I, playing live for the first time since 1982. It's going to be incredible. So we've got some cool stuff coming up, man. As well as, by the way, as well as going out and living La Vida Loca, we're also doing La Vida Loca. If you want to come and see Fright Night 1985 with myself and Catherine on Saturday, October the 27th, I think it's about 7:30 at night in King's Cross, £8. Come and see the film. And I should also say, it's not just going to be, we're going to put the film on, then it's going to finish and you'll go home. We will probably do, not a rabbit hole, but we will probably do, 10, 20 minutes before and 10, 20 minutes afterwards.
We'll have a chat about it.
We'll have a chat. We'll definitely do like a Q&A about the film afterwards, because I can get your thoughts in a discussion, like a Kyle-style discussion. That's what we'll do. Kyle-style. We haven't got a guest for this film, but we're going to chat about it. There'll be prizes. If you want to come dressed up, you'd be very, very welcome. It's going to be a laugh. It's going to be more than just going to the pictures. There's 65 seats. We've sold 40. 40. Actually, we're going to take 5 off because we've got a couple of people.
And Sam's coming.
Sam's coming. That's it. Right. So there's 20 tickets left. Right. They're £8. And if this one goes well, we're going to do more of these, including, I thought we could get it for November, but we can't get it until February. In February, we're going to be screening the Mr. Rogers film, right? That's happening. So if you want to come to that October the 27th, see Fright Night, have a laugh, dress up if you want. You don't have to. There'll be prizes. You can shout out. The bar is going to be open the whole time the film is on.
I've had some people contact me and saying, can we bring, like, silly string and stuff?
No.
I don't think so.
It's not our
that's
place.
going to be like cleaning up.
And also, we have to respect the rating of the film. And the film is ridiculously still an 18. So you've got to be 18. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Obviously, legally, you've got to be 18. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Right? So what I don't want is any, like, tall 16-year-olds that look 18.
17 and a half.
I don't want any of that. They've got to be 18, all right, guys?
Sam, are you 18?
Yeah. There's 20 tickets left. IanLee.com/event. IanLee.com/event. Let's take some phone calls. Let's go to Phil. Good evening, Phil.
Hi, Ian. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm bubbling. I'm bubbling.
You're bubbling.
I'm bubbling. How are you?
I'm okay. First time caller here, so I'm absolutely shaking at the minute because.
Bless you, brother. It's only me and Kath listening. And about 100,000 idiots. But don't worry about those guys. We will be gentle. What can we do for you, brother Phil?
Well, it was, I needed to call in because you were relating all, the mental health issues and marriage and all that.
Yeah.
And it was almost like you were talking about me.
Oh, really? Go on.
In many ways, yeah. So I got married and I met a Canadian lady, went to live in Canada because I thought it was running away from all my problems.
Ah, yes, the old geographicals, yes.
Yeah. So came back here, and then, it's like yourself, you're a failure, and I should have done this, should have done that.
Yeah.
And then you go into the self-pity mode, don't you?
Yeah.
And you can become very selfish, because you're looking in at yourself, aren't you, rather than the people around you.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. You can get, self-pity and self-loathing and like that. It's it's the feeling of failure, isn't it, Phil? That never gets mentioned. It's like you see celebrities getting divorced, and the papers portray it as though it's like a fun, joyous thing, and actually, I bet they feel like failures.
Yeah, exactly. But if you think about it, right, because what I did now is, because I've had this all my life, I suffer from anxiety, depression, personality disorder, all that type of thing.
Yeah.
So what I do now, with the knowledge I've gained over the years, we set up a support group to help other people. So when they come through the door, we've got a good understanding of what's going on. But it also helps me as well, do you see what I mean? To move forward. So you've got to think about, what you're passionate about. and go for it, you know what I mean?
OK, well, what are you passionate about, Phil? What are you going for?
Well, for one, the group and all that, but I love things like trivia and, you know, all kinds of stuff like that.
Who invented Tipex?
Wasn't that Michael Nesmith?
Yes!
Yeah.
Well done, Phil!
For you, I'll tell you, God, you could talk all night about this.
Go on.
Huey Lewis in the news, right?
Yeah, there we go.
His father invented the cheese, you know, the Edam cheese, the sealant you get and all that cheeses.
The wax. He's the wax man.
Hang on a minute. This is the best call we've ever had. Phil, first time caller, he was nervous and he's just dropped a Huey Lewis bomb. You're telling me Huey Lewis's dad invented the red wax that goes around the ball of Edam?
Cheeses, different cheeses and all that.
Jesus Christ. That's insane. Huey Lewis's dad.
Do you want another fact?
Yes, mate. Yes, I do. If it's as good as that one, I'm up for it. Go on.
Well, it might not be as good. The international dialing code for Russia is 007. You see what I mean? All the things, you know, useless information in it, but it's a bit of fun.
But it is a bit of fun, yeah. Yeah.
That's what you've got to do, isn't it? You know what I mean? To move forward, have a little bit of fun with
I've had my 2 years of being in prison, of living in a bedsit and kind of hiding away. And now I've got this lovely house and I'm seeing my kids more. And I've got this room in my house that I'm kind of slowly sort of turning into a studio with a green screen and with my computer and microphones. And I want to make stuff, you know, and I'm going to spend a weekend. I've got someone coming around to do a Beatles podcast with me on Saturday. I've got to do a big mail out for this record label that I do. So now I'm kind of getting into that thing of, all right, fine, that didn't work. Let's focus on some stuff let's focus on being creative. That's my kind of, that's my thing for me, is making stuff.
Yeah. And
how long ago was your divorce, Phil, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I was out in Canada for about 2006 to 2010.
Okay.
So it would be, 8 years since we divorced?
Flipping it, man. And the thing of being abroad and the marriage breaking down, that must be tougher.
Well, the other thing was, right, before I went out there, I had these mental health issues and then it wasn't taking anything, it wasn't treated. Yeah. So in some ways, you know what I mean, it's a bit of give and take, but you'll get these little flashbacks, but you'll say, you know what, you know, I can't do anything about it, I've got to move on, and just you just distract yourself with whatever you need to do.
With Huey Lewis's dad.
You do a fantastic show,
Bless
you know, you're sitting there now and you think, it's just talking, but it helps people, you know what I mean?
Hey, listen, Phil, that is a brilliant first call, man. I hope we get to speak again.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to.
Thank you, mate. Take care, bye-bye. What a nice man.
And I'm putting that Huey Lewis fact right in the old bank.
Now, is that true? Can we Google
I've just looked
Is it good? Is it true?
It's true. The wax sealant that goes around cheeses.
Did I miss a break? I missed it. Oh, gosh, I was enjoying... Huey Lewis's dad invented the red thing that goes around Edam cheese.
Yeah. All cheeses, wax sealant, like your Baby Bells and that.
Which, I have to say, apart from the Baby Bells, right, and we'll do the ad in a second, even now... I still can't remember if you can eat those things or not. What? So the number of times I'll have a cheese with, like, the wax thing on, and I go, I can't remember if I can eat that or not. It's like sometimes you go to a restaurant and
I got you a truckle, didn't I, from Wensleydale? You didn't eat that, did you?
I ate a bit of it.
That's just plastic.
I ate a bit of it. Yeah. It's like sometimes you go to restaurants and they'll serve your food on, like, a giant leaf.
Yeah.
And I never remember if you can eat the leaf or not, so I'll always have a bit of leaf.
Have a little go.
Yeah. 0344 499 1000. We got Claire, we got Jerry, we got Mo. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We're talking about divorce and mental health and medication. We're also asking for the best opening track of any album. Carla's been in touch. Carla's emailed my agent.
Carla's
emailed my agent.
You mean my agent?
He says, obviously it's difficult to say which is the best opening track on an album. Carl, I disagree. But he says The Zombies, Care of Cell 44 from Odyssey and Oracle. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh! I know what the best opening track is of any album. We'll start at 11 o'clock with it. We'll start No Bed at 11. I know the answer.
Could you not? Because my mate Ronnie says we're keeping him awake and you're tantalising him there.
Ronnie, I'm afraid you're going to have to... the best opening track of all time... 11 o'clock. You're going to get it, whether you want it or not. Let's go to Claire. I'm telling you, Claire. Good evening, Claire.
Hello.
Hello, Claire.
How are you? You're
I'm feeling sexy.
Oh, don't set him off.
I'm feeling sexy. I'm feeling very unsexy, actually.
He's sweaty, I'll tell you that.
I'm feeling sweaty. Anyway, Claire, sorry, you asked and you got it. What can we do for you this evening?
Well, I had nothing particular to say. I just thought I'd give you a call.
You've come to the right place.
We've done 52 minutes of nothing in particular to say, so I don't, you are in the right place. Welcome.
I mean, when you were talking about best opening albums, I can't really help you with that because I don't listen to many albums.
Oh,
but I could do best opening of a concert.
Yeah, we go.
Do it.
Yeah, go on, we'll take that, yeah.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh.
He was in Birmingham and he did Tacky. But he had he started from outside the venue and live videoed him singing to come in, and all I worried about was that is incredibly brave on a Friday night in Birmingham.
Yeah, do you know what? Weird Al, we love Weird Al. He's been on the show a few times, and I haven't seen him live. I've never seen him live actually, but I've seen the videos of this. So he does his spoof version of Happy, and you'll see the video we saw. It's a video of him walking down the street, and it's being shown on the screen in the venue,
yes.
and then it looks like the Happy video.
Yeah.
And you think it's pre-recorded, and then you suddenly realise it's not.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was the same for you, because about a minute into it, the audience realise that that's the way they've walked to the venue, and it's happening, and then he comes in, and he's brilliant, Weird Al.
And we're just going, please nobody jump out on him.
Imagine he got stabbed in Birmingham. We love Weird Al. I have to do it. The pedant in me has to do it. It's a hard C. It's Yankovic. I know. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. My husband got me into it, unfortunately, so I'm a late sort of to this one. But he took me to the concert when he came to Birmingham, and it was brilliant.
Next time he comes over, we have to go and see him, because I've never seen him, and I love him. I think he's hilarious. I think he's clever.
Yeah.
Nice one, Claire. We will add that to the list. Go on.
And it was a small venue-ish. I mean, it wasn't in a big arena, so it was really, really good. I was 4 rows from the front, and I'm too lazy to hand my coat in because of waiting to get it back again. And I had a bright pink jacket, and that just drew attention. And he jumped off the stage and just sang right in my face.
I tell you what we're going to do, right? Next time he comes over, because me and Kath have got this silly little film club we do, and he made a film in the 80s called UHF, which is funny, man. It's a cult film. Hardly anyone's seen it. It's funny. If he comes over again, we'll see if we can have a screening of UHF, and we'll see if we can get Weird Al to come down and do a Q&A or something for that. How's about that?
That'd be very cool.
Claire, we're going to reach out to him, as they say in America. Thank you very much indeed. Now, listen, Mo, you've got a choice, right? We had this kind of conversation before, and I'm bored of having it again. You come on, and you're rude to me, and you were very rude to Catherine yesterday, and you were rude to me on Twitter. That's why I blocked you. Listen, you can come on. I want you to be part of the show. You're very welcome to be a part of the show. But the show is about celebration, and is about love, and is about hope and opportunity. And if all you're going to do is come on and just be mean and rude and take swipes, then I don't want then I don't want you to come and play in my house. So it's entirely up to you, Mo. You can come and you can play and you can take part, or if you're just going to be mean, then really I don't want you phoning or listening. So what is it going to be, brother?
I was wondering if I could ask you a question.
Okay, could you respond to the point I just made?
Yeah, sure. I guess that works for you. Hello?
Yeah. Could you respond to the point I just made?
Yeah, agreed. Don't worry.
Okay, fine. Away you go.
So is Nico on the show today?
Yeah, at midnight. We're doing It's Wicked with Nico Omilana.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. I'll add a few questions for him, actually. But thanks. Good show, Ian.
Thank you very much, Mo. It's appreciated. Nico will not be on the show tonight. Let's go to Jerry. Good evening, Jerry.
Hello.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I do repeat for just
You've got the what with the what now?
Things are happening. Can't see what. I can't see what.
Things are happening and you can't say what.
Okay. I can see maybe, but no.
What, are you a getaway driver for a robbery right now? Is that what's happening?
I got to get away from it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh.
Not good. Not good.
Not good, not good?
Not good.
Does Richard know about it, your solicitor?
Yeah, Richard knows.
Okay.
He knows it's not good.
Oh, I think I've got an idea because I saw a letter, an email that Richard sent out about, things.
Yeah, transfer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm thinking of play some games. Kind of. I think another place.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah. Okay. But how are you feeling, man?
Bit low, that's why I'm being honest. I just been sorting myself out. Bit low, bit down.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, you sound happy. You sound a bit like me on my drugs.
I'm wired tonight, man. I am totally wired. This is what the 90s should have been like, but pure. I'll come crashing down in a bit. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. My emotions are all over the place because I'm changing these pills. I don't know what's happening. This is unusual. It's unusual behaviour for me.
Yeah, if you change it.
Changing it up. If you like that song by Michael Jackson about looking in the mirror and touching yourself.
I tell you, I'm into at the moment.
Yeah.
Shakespeare's sister.
Wow.
That came from nowhere.
I think they broke up, didn't they?
I liked them. I've got nothing against Shakespeare's sister. They were a cracking little band.
You know what links Shakespeare's sister is? Come on, Eileen.
Shakespeare's sister, come on, Eileen. I don't know.
That's her sister, Eileen, the Siobhan's sister.
Really? Eileen is the sister
Siobhan
of...
Faiz?
Yeah.
Siobhan Faiz?
Her sister.
Faiz.
Her sister. The only place Eileen is her sister.
Okay.
That's an interesting
It's
fact.
just amazing.
Well, it's a fact.
Well, is it? I'm going to check it.
All right. Jerry, listen. Jerry, I'm going to stick up your bum now.
Okay, people.
There we go. Thank you very much indeed. The Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Track to any album. It's the live version. It's Alone Again or from Forever Changes by Love. In a second, you're going to hear the biggest cheer for a trumpet solo ever. Nowhere in the history of rock has a trumpet solo been so well received. Not even at Herb Alpert concert. Here we go.
Yeah, heard a funny thing. Somebody said to me, you know that I could be in love with almost everyone. I think that people are the greatest fun, and I will be alone again do. And I will be alone against the
The song just fades out, man. It just collapses. Arthur Lee will be on the show next Monday. Next Monday, Arthur Lee will be in the studio with an acoustic guitar. And, oh, man, I wish that were true. Never got to interview Arthur. I danced with him. Oh, he played a song for me in concert when I shouted out singing Cowboy. And he went, the next song is going to be singing Cowboy for that guy there. That was as close as I got, and that'll do me. That is the best song, best opening song from any album. Forget the fact it's the live version. I wanted you to hear the cheer for the trumpet. But Forever Changes, the opening track from Alone Again Or, the opening track from Forever Changes by Love. Alone Again Or, written by the guitarist from Love, Brian McLean, who used to be the roadie for the Byrds and was the half-brother of Maria McKee. Is it Maria McKee or Gina McKee? One's an actress and one's a singer. Maria McKee. Half-sister of Maria McKee. And every few years, I forget how much I love the album Life is Sweet by Maria McKee. And I go to dig it out of my collection and I cannot find it. And so I buy it again for like £1.51 on Amazon. And I did this a couple of weeks ago. I went, oh, Life is Sweet. I've lost my copy of that. I'll get it. And I was driving to work. It sounds so 90s. But it is so good. The opening 4 or 5 songs on that, just goosebumps. It's just... Oh, I'll do you a tape of it. A tape of it?
A tape? Thanks, I'll go back to the 90s to play it.
I'll do you a tape. Oh, it's such a good album. Life is Sweet by Maria McKee. It sounds like... It's got that same kind of crunchy... Stay there, Malky. I'll come to you in a second, mate. It's got that kind of crunchy, distorted guitar that you'd hear on an Alanis Morissette album... Mm-hmm. But the songs are good. I mean, it really is... Oh,
Alanis had a couple of moments.
Oh, she had one hand in her pocket and the other one was giving out a peace sign. Life is Sweet. What an album. What an album. I'm tempted to... oh, no, we're not a music show. 0344 499 1000. We're going to talk about Cunnilingus.
Yes, that came out of left field for you, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Voice of the Beehive, their album was called Honey Lingers.
Oh, yeah.
I get it now. I get it. That's a really good joke.
Shall I email them and say we just finally got...
We had them on the show, and let's get them on and say, hey, guys, sorry, 30 years after your album, we get it now. We got this, a slow burn. We got it.
I love them. There's another one.
So explain... They are great. So explain what Cunni is.
What?
No, the thing, because there's a reason we're not being mucky. We are.
I messed it up yesterday. Not that, but I messed up yesterday getting a guest on who has...
Time difference, couldn't work it out.
No, I'm really crap at maths, especially really simple sums, it transpires.
Yeah.
But they are in Napa, California, and I muffed it up, and they were ready to speak to us.
Stop making it a sob story about yourself. Tell us about the guest.
No, I'm apologising.
You're not apologising to me, though.
No.
Exactly, so
I'm
it doesn't count.
I'm apologising to radio.
Those guys...
Radio, guess what? In an hour's time, we'll be speaking to the co-inventors of Cunni, which is...
Honey Lingers.
It's basically an electric tongue.
It's an electric tongue that you put on your doodah.
That you can operate using an app on your phone, so you can wiggle your finger about on your touch screen.
Second question. You know what my second question's going to be? Can a man use it on his bum?
I don't think it'd go there.
Second question. Okay, so then remind me of that. Let's go to Malky. Malky's...
Use it on his bum.
Okay, well, that's it. I want to know.
Phone goes down.
This is a serious sex toy, and you guys are not taking this seriously at all.
I think they'll be fine.
0344 499 1000. Good evening, Malky.
Good evening, Ian. How are you?
I'm very, very well, mate. Nice to talk to you. Nice to talk to someone with a bit of Scottish heritage. Respect that. My granddad was Scottish. We love Scotland. Catherine and I were there recently. It's one of the greatest places in the world. And I'm aware that it's a whole country, and I'm just kind of generalising. But what the hell? What can we do for you tonight, Malky?
You're loved in Scotland, Ian.
We love Scotland, man. My dad's ashes are up there. I've got family up there. Every time we go and do shows up there, You know, we're warmly received. It's one of the greatest places on God's earth.
You storm it, man. You storm it.
Thank you, brother.
My first message is for Mo. It's the other day there was obviously Mental Health Awareness Day.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, be encouraging, not disparaging.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a nice little line. I was worried where you're going to go with that. That's a nice little line, and that is what we're trying to do. It's what we're trying to do with the show, Malky. As you probably guessed, we try and when people ask me what the show is about, we celebrate. And it's really easy, and I do it, and Kath does it. You know, it's really easy to fall back on that negative thing and slagging things off. It's the default setting, I think, for humans.
Oh, I'm very Mardy.
Oh, totally. And it's easy to do, but to come on and say, hey, this is great, or this doesn't quite work brilliantly, it doesn't work perfectly, but this bit is good in it. It's a tough gig to do. Doesn't do us any favours as presenters. Certainly doesn't do us any favours in terms of an audience. And also, Malky, you'll understand this, I think. I don't want to ban people from calling in, right? I want everyone to be welcome. Which is why I keep giving Mo this opportunity of coming on and being part of the fun. But if someone is just going to call up and is just going to slag off my best mate or slag me off, I can tell how they slag me off, but if someone's just going to come on and have a pop all the time and there's no humour to it, there's nothing constructive about it, there's, you know... I can't take that anywhere.
Just peevish, isn't it?
It is. I can't make that entertaining, you know. So give us that line again, Malky. I like that one.
Be encouraging, not disparaging.
Beautiful. I like that. I'm gonna steal that, and I'm gonna use that on telly.
I've got a final thought today.
Yeah, go on.
With the sort of I'm a celebrity thing.
Yeah.
I was looking at TV earlier and Dennis Wise was on TV.
Oh yeah.
And then Amir Khan's got this multi-million-pound fight against another boxer.
Against another boxer, yeah. That's how it works, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And then Kezia Dugdale's on Question Time tonight.
Is she? Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
All right, well played.
Although I turned on the radio and switched it off.
Well done, that's the correct decision.
Not against Kezia, it's just that politics.
I like Kez. When we were in Edinburgh, we went out for some food with Kez, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I like Kez. I've got...
she seems a nice soul, doesn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Well, you'll know better than me.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about yourself, you're getting TV work, and your show just rocks all the time. I absolutely love your show. And I just wondered, would you ever partake in reality TV again? If the offer came up that you like.
How much are they paying? That's what. Listen, here's the thing. When it came to the I'm a Celebrity, there were 3 reasons I did it. Right? They'd asked me 4 or 5 times, and my wife was always dead against it. And I kept thinking, I don't need it now. I don't need it. I nearly did it 2 years ago when I got a phone call saying someone's dropped out. Can you go to Australia now? And I kind of got excited, and then I didn't. But I did it for three reasons. One was I needed quite a lot of money quite quickly so I could get a deposit for a house because the divorce was happening. The second...
And you didn't want to do a bank job.
No, exactly. And although I was I got paid the least out of anyone in this series, I got enough that I had a deposit for a house, which is to be able to do that for 3 weeks' work.
And you got a decent amount of work out of it.
And I got work out of it. That was a bonus. So the 3 reasons were I needed, a big check was really handy. I wanted this show I was so proud of, but no one was listening to it. So I wanted to go on front of 12 million people and say, by the way, I do a radio show, which I made sure I did when I came out of the jungle and Ant and Dec were there. And I said, I do a radio show. And the third reason, Malky, was because my boys had never seen me on a TV show properly. And I thought this will be a nice... They're old enough now, they'll get it. They'll enjoy seeing me being covered in spiders and crying and, getting scared at stuff. So those were the 3 reasons. Would I do anything like that again? Yeah, if they paid enough money, I would. Totally. I wouldn't be doing it to advance my career. I'd be doing it to cash a cheque. That's it, really. This, for me, this show is my artistic expression. I get to work with my best mate, and for 3 hours a night, we get to come in and do whatever we want, and I feel artistically satisfied doing this. All the TV work now is cashing a cheque.
Well, can I leave you with a final point, and I mean this, and I know in a sinister way.
Hang on a minute. The last point was how many final points does this guy want?
Yeah, well, this is just a sentence.
Go on.
It's when I go to bed at night and listen to you guys, it's like going to bed with two pals. And I mean that every night.
Dirty,
and then it's not weird in the morning.
Dirty boy. Well, as long as you're in the middle and we're spooning. Malky, it's nice to talk to you, brother. We'll speak again soon. Thank you very much. What a nice guy.
Yeah.
0344 499 1000. I like him. I love our Scottish listeners. There's not many of them, but they're proper staunch.
And I loved it when we went to Edinburgh this time around, and Glasgow was a revelation. We felt really welcome.
Yeah.
And Glasgow in particular was up to party.
It's interesting. The TV work has kind of dried up. I've not had any for since just before I went away to New York, which was in August, September, so 2 or 3 months. Got nothing in the diary. I sent a very nice email to the head of Good Morning Britain last week saying, I just want to say, I know how this industry works. I think my time is up working with you guys, but I have enjoyed every second of it. If you'd like me to do any more, I'm here, but I'm certainly not sat at home cursing you that you're not asking me in anymore. I get it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And they wrote an email back saying, thanks very much, we'll keep you in mind. That's fine. So I think the TV work is kind of over. I'm cool with that. I wasn't doing it to get TV work out of it. That was all a bonus. You know, that was all a lovely, lovely bonus. For me, it's all about this. This show is the job. You know, working with my best friend, Sam. Oh. I love that guy. I love you, Sam. It's a joy to have you sat opposite me on the other side of the glass. And, thingy bob here. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I had a lovely chat with my boys about transgender.
Yeah, you mentioned this
I mentioned this. I've got to say, so picked them up from school and we went home and we cooked some tea and I'm quite lazy and often I'll let them have the tea in front of the telly, but today I said, let's go and sit in the dining room in their mum's house. Go and sit in the dining room. We'll eat there. And I can't really remember how the conversation started. I remember when it did start, I kind of froze a bit and thought, uh-oh, this is a pivotal moment that I've got to get right, because this is... I really think that for a lot of issues around sex and gender, you get one real shot at it. The first one is the one that really, really counts. You can kind of nudge things afterwards and reiterate. And I think for a lot of them, the first time that conversation is had is what sets the seed for what a lot of their belief will be. And so my eldest was talking about something. I don't really remember how it went, but he said, Daddy, I heard about a boy that started dressing up as a girl and was wearing girls' clothes and wanting to be called a girl, and the boys were giggling at that. And so I kind of smiled and went, yeah, that happens. That happens. They said, well, really? It happens. It happened a lot. I said, well, it's happening a bit more than it used to. And what it is it's a bit complicated, but that person would be called trans. And sometimes you get boys or men that they look like a boy, they got a willy, giggles everywhere.
You said willy.
I said willy, because you got kind of, you know, I said you get boys or men and they've got a willy and they look like a boy, but in their head, they feel like a girl or a woman. So some of them will just wear girls' or women's clothes, and that's cool. And some of them will get operations and they'll get their willy removed. And my boy went, what? And they'll get a vagina. I said, yeah, sometimes they do that. And, you know, it's kind of, it's tricky. It's not an easy operation, but it takes a long time. But, yeah, it's kind of normal. And I bet that by the time you're 10, there will probably someone in your year who you know as a boy, and one day they will start dressing as a girl and they'll want to be called a girl. And that's fine. They go, really? In my year? I said I wouldn't be surprised. I said it didn't really happen very much when I was young. But people talk about these things now. And when that happens, you might find it a bit funny, but that's kind of cool. But that's how they want to be seen. That's how they feel. And we respect how people feel and how they want to be seen, and it might seem funny, but it's not funny. It's life, man, and if that happens, that's great. And if you've got any questions when that happens, you come and talk to me, or talk to them, or talk to a teacher, and as long as we don't, and I made a big point saying, as long as we don't, look, you might find it funny because it's unusual to you, but as long as we don't tease people, and as long as we don't bully people, and as long as we don't laugh at them because of how they're feeling or how they want to dress, then we can talk about these things, and it's kind of cool. And then it was, okay, can we go and play Skylanders now?
Exactly.
And that was it.
Because that's enough.
And that was it. And I was kind of worried. I knew this conversation was going to come at some point. I just didn't know when. And I was kind of worried about it because it is a pivotal thing, I don't think either of my boys are trans, but you never know. I don't think they are. Pretty sure they're not. If they were, okay, then I will embrace them and love them. But I was so proud of course we had a laugh because we're talking about willies and vaginas, and, they're 8 and 6, and I'm 45, and we all three of us find willies and vaginas funny, But I was so proud that how my 8-year-old, as I'm sure your big one would do, brought it up and was kind of smirking a bit, and this boy that was a bit, but was actually genuinely curious as to what was going on there, and why would someone want to do that? Was the vibe.
My kids are way more exposed to stuff than I was as a kid, right?
Oh yeah.
Partly because I had gay friends from when they were tiny,
yeah,
and it was just like, yeah, they've got a boyfriend,
yeah,
and that was the end of that, and it was just kind of that's what happened. Now, at one of my kids' schools, there is a trans child already.
Yeah.
And they kind of announced it quite recently, but it's been noticeable for a while that they've started dressing differently and their hair is different and stuff. Kids don't give a monkeys. It's just who they are.
Tell you what I saw a lot of recently, towards the end of last term, and there may be one thing in it or it may be another thing, but the number of girls I saw... So hard to tell teenage girls' ages. I would guess between 12 and 16, walking along holding hands. Mm-hmm. Now, they could just be really good friends or they could be girlfriends. But I don't really remember that many girls walking along holding hands. It looked romantic to me. I interpreted it as romantic. And first of all, I was a little bit shocked because I'm an old man and that kind of stuff still is my knee-jerk.
And you wondered what was going on.
Yeah. And then I thought, man, how brilliant. Because they would have been bullied and... I don't know any girls in my school that were gay. Now, they would have been.
Yeah. Looking back, I can probably tell you.
I can name one or two. Yeah, but okay, one or two.
I think one might have been trans as well.
I certainly don't know any that were living an openly gay lifestyle at 14.
No.
And so my knee-jerk reaction, because I'm old and we can't control our knee-jerk reaction, was, well, that's a bit shocking. And then once that had gone... I thought, this is great, man. This is great. If this is what my kids' generation, if this is the position they're in, of course, I'm not saying homophobia is gone. Of course, it's not. But if it's normal, if they think it's normal for two 14-year-old girls to be going out with each other, they're in a much stronger position than we were 30 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
It's brilliant.
Definitely. I still remember, there were effeminate boys who used to get picked on.
Yeah, yeah.
And they used to swear blind that they weren't. And you know what? Their business.
Yeah.
But they were driven further into the closet if they were in the closet,
yeah,
and I can't blame them for not wanting to come out.
Oh, imagine, I probably bullied some effeminate guys. I talked about my bullying and how I'm ashamed of it. I did. And
there were also boys that were not effeminate that were gay.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But imagine being a gay boy, a gay 13-year-old boy in 1986.
God.
Flipping heck, man.
The thing is, and that a lot of other people know it before you do.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to come to terms with it yourself.
Yeah.
Really tough. And I've got, a couple of gay friends who I've had conversations with about, when they came out, and very different reactions. One of my Spanish friends who's gay, his dad wouldn't eat in the same room with him ever again. He used to make him eat in the kitchen with the dog.
Wow.
His sister was gay as well, it turned out.
Wow.
But, they found solidarity with each other. And then, other friends whose mums always knew. And it was like, you're just telling me something I've known for a long time. I just wanted to wait till you were ready to say it. And the experience is changing now. My older daughter, and I say older, she's 10, she's got a friend who's openly gay.
Yeah.
And when she first told me, I thought, gosh, it's a bit soon to know, isn't it? I thought, nah, I used to fancy boys when I was 10.
At 10. I do.
But I remember my friend's mum's. He said she knew. But she said, I'm worried for you because your life will be that much more difficult.
Well, this is my only concern would be if either of my boys would be gay, is the fact that homophobia does still exist and prejudice still exists and that their life is going to be a bit more difficult. That's my only concern.
You can't hold hands with your boyfriend in the street.
No.
But I'm hoping that things are changing.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that, that we are building, me and their mother are building a safe enough environment that if either of my boys, both of my boys, is gay or is bi or is trans or is just confused. It's so common for young boys, I don't know about girls, but for young boys and teenage boys to be confused.
Yeah.
Because you get a boner all the time. When you're like 13, 14, 15, you are permanently hard. And you could be looking at your best mate, a male mate, and have a boner and think, oh, geez, what does that mean? You could be, I've masturbated as a teenager and boys have popped into my head and you're thinking, well, hang on, does that make me gay or is that... There's so much confusion. I had no one I could talk to. So I hope that my boys will be, if they've got any questions like that, or go, do you know what, Dad? I think I'm fancying guys, and I don't know what that is. And
I think it's National Coming Out Day today.
Oh,
or
it is.
It
is actually. You're right. We saw that on Channel 4. Yeah.
But the strange thing is, right? Heterosexuals don't have to come out to their parents, do they? Oh, Mum, I'm really having some strong thoughts about boys. Are you going to be all right with that? You don't ask for permission. And I'm hoping that one day it won't be a big deal. I wonder if our generation will be the ones to change it.
I was listening to Front Row when it was coming in, the BBC Radio 4 arts programme, and there's a new kind of comedy, like a sitcom called Bisexual, starting on Channel 4. And it's written by this bisexual woman, and it's kind of based on her experiences and stuff like that. And you don't hear about bisexuality anywhere near as much as you hear about being gay or lesbian or trans. And she said in this interview, it's kind of overlooked, and it's kind of ignored. And I wonder if, with the acceptance we have of the gay lifestyle and of trans, I wonder if kind of more and more people are going to go out and go, do you know what, I think I'm a bit both. I think, because sexuality is when I was growing up, it was black and white. You were gay or you were straight. And actually... it ain't like that. It's grey, and I think everyone's a little bit gay, and some people are more straight than they. And I just wonder if in 20 years' time, kind of, it's not going to be seen as abnormal in inverted commas to 1 minute you're going out with a boy and that doesn't work, so the next partner's a girl, and that I think that's going to become kind of the thing, and this gay and this straight thing is going to be a little bit less. It's going to be a little bit less more of the extremes that we have.
All I want is for people to be able to do what they want.
Yes,
right?
man.
As long as they're not hurting anyone.
Up there.
No, and also this awful thing of people carrying. There are adult men in their 50s and 60s who are waiting for their elderly mothers to die so they can come out and live their lifestyles, right? Lifestyles, like it's a choice. I long for a day when that doesn't need to happen anymore.
Well, yeah. Exactly. I just, if it works putting it in that hole, put it in that hole. If it works putting it in the other hole, put it in that. If it works putting it in both holes, then grow two dicks and put them in both holes.
Some people don't want holes at all.
If you don't want a hole, then that's fine. Get a groove. Get a groove thang. Whatever works for you, man. As long as you just do it. Just get in bed. Everyone just get in bed and do it.
But there are also people who are completely not interested in anything at all.
Oh, those people are weird. I'm joking. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Whatever works for you, man. Whatever works for you, And if it's sex works for you and it works, great. And if it doesn't work for you and you don't like being touched, like you say, then that's... And if you're happy with that lifestyle, which is... lifestyle. If you're happy... Some people don't like being sexual and it's not a problem for them. They just don't like it. Fine, if that works for you, man. Everybody... I don't get this thing. Everybody should just be able to get on... and do what they want. As long as no one's getting hurt, again, unless that's your thing, as long as no one's doing anything against their will, just get on with it. And
everyone's grown up.
Just get on with it, man. Yeah. Get on with it. Get it up there.
That's that sorted, everyone.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to Tony.
Hello.
Hello, Tony. What can we do for you this evening, please?
Right, I'm just going to carry on with the subject that you're talking about.
Yes, man. Get in there. Come on, let's have it.
Right, well, I finished with my missus back in March.
Yep.
and it's got nothing to do with where I am now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to dress, and I'm in my late 40s now.
Yeah.
And I've never did anything about it. I've got kids and all stuff like that, and I'm so scared and all that sort of rubbish. And since I've been living on my own, I decided, well, why can't I? Why can't I do it?
Yeah.
So I started doing it, started getting dressed, and I haven't done anything with a man or a woman yet since I've been single. Nothing's happened yet.
Yeah.
And I decided last weekend that I was going to tell my daughter. She's 21.
Oh, mate, that must have been terrifying.
It was the scariest thing in my life that I have ever done.
I bet it was.
I've been meaning to call you for months and months and months and talk about it, and I just haven't. But I told her, and she went, Dad, why haven't you told me in the past?
Oh.
Yes!
She said, I know. It's obvious.
It's obvious.
Is it really that obvious? She went, yeah. And she said, well, now that I know, she said, we're going shopping.
Oh, no, you're joking! You've done a good job there, Tony.
Oh, no, there's a lot more to come yet.
Go on.
I ended up going to Blackpool this week for the very first time.
Yeah.
And I went around the gay area and stuff like that, and I met loads of people. I was dressed. And do you know what? I had an amazing time. I was out in my shell. And if people looked at me, I didn't care. I think I looked actually quite convincing. So I was all right with that. So I've just come back from Blackpool today after a few days. But the thing is, this is where I am getting a bit worried now. I've still got to tell me 14-year-old son.
Okay.
And that is where I really am bricking it, sort of thing. I know he's not going to be anything bad, but I just haven't had a chance to tell him yet. So
okay, well, let's go on to him in a sec. So, but you say your daughter was 21?
Yeah.
And how long had the build-up been where you made the decision you were going to tell her, right, I'm definitely going to do it, to you actually telling her? How long was that?
Well, I don't know, really. Probably a few weeks or a few months, but I did tell my ex-wife first.
And how was she? Because I imagine...
She was fine.
Was she really? Because I'd imagine...
Do you think she had an inkling?
Yeah, she knew.
Can I ask what might have given her the... I mean, have you always been a dramatic dresser?
No, I did tell her about me when we first met.
Right, okay.
There is a childhood issue with why it started.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Which I don't really want to go into.
No, of course not. You don't have to at all. But okay, so she knew when you got married, and she was cool with it?
Yeah. We just grew apart. It had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, okay. And did you? And if I, you know the rules, Tony. If I ask anything that you don't want to answer, just tell me to jog on. But I'm genuinely fascinated, right? Did you dress when you were with your wife?
No, she didn't really like it.
Okay.
But it was one of them things that back then it was on my own sort of thing. I wouldn't go out, wouldn't even dream of it.
And cards on the table, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 years ago, I'd be sniggering at this. If I'm completely honest...
Oh, they were still making jokes about it in mainstream comedy, weren't they?
I would be sniggering about this, which is to my shame and is to my embarrassment, because, I've always considered myself kind of with my finger on the pulse. And actually, I would have been making jokes about this. And I'm so grateful that, A, I don't, and B, that you've called in to share this, because this is fascinating, right? And I think this shows how far I've come, let alone society, that you can phone up a late-night radio show and share this stuff and all the stuff you've been through, and neither me or Kath are going, flipping it. I'm genuinely fascinated. So when you told your daughter...
Yeah.
I can't even begin to imagine what that was like.
It was just when I was driving back one night and she was in the car with me. She said, I've got something to tell you. I said, don't worry, I haven't got cancer. I'm not dying already. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
But I need to tell you this, and let me do the whole story first. So I went back to the childhood thing and what happened. She was more upset about that.
Yeah, I bet she was.
Rather than anything else.
Yeah.
And she said, Dad, I've had an inkling for a long time. She was more upset that I didn't tell her.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I'm welling up here. That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
She's amazing now. When I was out in Blackpool, she wanted to see photographs of what I looked like to make sure I looked all right and I didn't look
yeah, she's not going to let you go out looking a mess.
No, not at all.
And so you had a good... You were in Blackpool for the whole weekend?
No, Monday to today.
Okay, and so was there like a festival on, or you just going up there for a little break and you went to the gay area and what was it just a holiday?
Well, originally I was going to go to Scotland for a few days, and it was just going to be like a chill sort of thing because I've worked hard all summer, and that cancelled. And I thought, well, what am I going to do? And I thought, let's go to Blackpool and let's bite the bullet and do it. See if I can.
What, and you went on your own and did it?
Yes.
Mate,
that's incredible, you know.
That is.
It was scary.
The first time you got dressed, you stepped out and you shut the front door.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was... I have done it a couple of times, local, but only for about an hour or so.
Yeah.
I just thought, no, I'm doing it. Why can't I do it? And if someone says something to me, I'll say something back.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I'm so proud of you. I hope it doesn't sound patronising because I genuinely, I'm really moved by this. This is incredible. We've got a text in from, I don't know what Blackpool Today is, but he's saying, loving Tony and what a fabulous daughter. And I tell you what it is, because we're of a similar age.
Yeah,
and we are of a generation, and I can imagine how difficult. I know how difficult it is to express your individuality in a non-conventional way.
Here's the other thing, right? We were talking about it last night. You think your life is going along one track, right? And you get used to it, and you think, right, I can do this. This isn't ideal, but it's not just about me anymore. So I can live with this. It'll be all right. And then you realise you don't have to put up with it.
Yeah.
But it's going to take some doing to change things.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, and it's nothing against them, a lot of people just, I can't do it. I'll just stick the way I am. And they probably live with regret, but they never know. But you've jumped onto the other track.
You're living life, man.
That's what I said when we split. I want to live life now. I'm nearly 50. And it's time for me to have me time. And the reason I wanted to call up, because you've gone through a split. I mean, I was probably going through the bad things as you was, and I just thought, am I going to ring up? I've got the bottle to do this. No, I haven't. I'll just listen. And I was like that for months.
Mate, you've done braver things. It sounds like them phoning up a radio show.
This kind of thing, if untapped, can sometimes destroy people.
Oh, people kill themselves.
That's the other thing. I was getting depressed with it.
Yeah.
I just thought,
well, because you're not being you.
Yeah.
You're not living your life.
And some people can live with that, and a lot of people can't.
So, telling the boy is the next step.
Yeah.
Got any plans for that, or are you just going to kind of wait and see, wait for a moment to arise, or...
Your ex will help, won't she?
Yeah, but I'd rather do it just me and them.
Yeah.
But I've got him for a week over Halloween in the holidays, and I think that's the ideal time.
Well,
and I'll tell him.
I think we know what your costume's going to be.
Oh, no, don't.
Let's go trick-or-treating, son. Well, if that moment arises over that week... I wish you the very, very best of luck, man. I hope it doesn't sound patronising.
No,
I'm really moved by the fact that you felt you could come and share this with us, and I think that's incredible, Tony. And there will be people listening who you will have given them confidence, and you will have given them courage, and you will have inspired them to maybe just start taking a different direction in their life that they've been thinking about.
Yeah. You've just got to be happy, haven't you? You've got to be happy with yourself. And these few days, I've seen the other part of me. And I'll tell you what, the other part of me is more of a drunken party animal than I am.
There you go. Tony, give us, if you feel up to it, give us a call after Halloween and let us know how it goes, if it goes. And we've got our fingers crossed, and I wish you the best of luck, man. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks a lot. Cheers.
Cheers, Tony. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Flippin' heck. What an amazing call. What an amazing call. What an amazing roller coaster Tony's been through in the last few months. Well, the last few years, it sounds like. The last few months in particular. Brave is the right word. Brave is the right word. To step out at nearly 50 years old in a completely different mindset and physicality and say, actually, do you know what? This is me now.
I'm seeing, to be honest, I think I don't know whether I'm just more aware of it because it's talked about more, but I'm seeing more and more trans people or people who are dressing and, don't necessarily know what label they're putting on themselves, and it's none of my business. But I'm seeing it a lot more. And whereas in the past, it was the sort of thing people used to laugh about.
Oh, like, I have done.
On nice Saturday afternoon, two Ronnies and stuff, people would laugh about it, right?
Yeah.
But now I think, I've certainly got more of an understanding. And now when I see someone dressing and, living their best life, I always think, you go for it. I wish I was that brave in some of my decisions,
Sandra and Lou, stay there. We'll come to you in a bit. 0344 499 1000. What show this is tonight? This is Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
03. Can you stop wafting, please?
Don't you ever make that chili again?
It's gone straight to my bottom.
I'm eating it again. Flipping it. How can the air be chewy? Seriously, the things I go through for this show.
OK, well, you lost us a guest last night because you couldn't work out the time difference in America. So
but I gained them for today, so swings and roundabouts.
No, it's not. You didn't gain them for today. You got a guess that you lost yesterday.
Didn't lose them. I misplaced them.
Let's go to Sandra. Good evening, Sandra.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you, Sandra. A little bit windy, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah, I'm not all right.
But we're fine. What can we do for you tonight, Sandra?
Oh, I don't know how to follow that phone call. That was amazing.
Wasn't it?
It's something... Oh, yeah. I mean, as Talk sang, always what you make it, celebrate it, eh?
Well, that's it. As I get older and realise that I am more than likely over halfway through my life. Imagine, over halfway through my life, right? It's all downhill from here. If there's things I've not done, I better start doing them soon. Otherwise, I'm going to get to 80 and think, oh, man.
It's something I wish you'd stop doing.
Oh, shut up, Catherine. I'm trying to be philosophical with my good friend Sandra here, who's called in, and you're making fart jokes. I'm so sorry, Sandra. Anyway, what have you called in for tonight?
Right, OK. Can I get us into the Halloween spirit a little bit?
Oh, mate, well, hang on a minute. Let me just help you for a second.
What are you beefing on about?
No, that's not it. Hang on a second. Here we go. Here's the Halloween spirit. Away you go, Sandra.
OK, right. I was down in Liverpool at the weekend with my boys to see the Giants, and I was in a hotel.
The Giants?
American football?
Yeah, the big... No, the big 90-foot Giants.
Hang on a minute.
Wait.
There's 90-foot giant. I know that there's apparently, because I've heard it on Howard Hughes' show, there's a street that's got a time portal in, and there's loads of recorded incidences of people walking down this street and disappearing through time. I know that as a fact. I know that as a fact,
anyway,
but I don't know about the 90-foot giants.
Well, anyway, it was a thing in Liverpool at the weekend, an event. Yeah. So we went down to Liverpool and we stayed in a hotel. I won't mention the name, OK?
OK.
But it's well known. And it was built in the same year as the Titanic. Yeah. And I saw a ghost for the first time in my life.
Oh, come on, mate. Let's get to the meat and two veg. This is incredible. Well, tell me about what happened.
Well, OK, it's a very old hotel. It's from 1912, the same year as the Titanic was built.
Yeah.
So the first night I stayed there, 3 o'clock in the morning, someone knocked on my door, and our hotel door, and I answered the door, and I thought, nobody was there, and I thought, someone's got the wrong door.
Yeah.
So I went back to bed. The next morning at 3 o'clock, the same thing happened.
Oh, mate.
But listen, Iain.
I'm listening.
I opened the door, and I looked down the corner, and there was this guy, and he was dressed in Victorian clothing, a long sort of frock coat. It was purple, and he had a hat on, and he was going in the corner. And I was freaked out, you know what I mean? I had chills. And I asked the hotel staff the next day, and this person's been seen. Yeah, it's a real thing. You know, that was a ghost.
Well, hang on. Well, okay, let me just do what Howard Hughes never does, and let me question you about this. Because I've been in hotels before, and I've had knocks on the door at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's quite often it's drunk people coming back, and they're like, "Oh, give us shit about his sausages in the fire." Oh, smashing the door. And so they bang on the doors, and you wake up, and I never open the door because I don't want to get murdered. But you actually got up and you opened the door.
I did. Yeah.
And it was a Victorian gentleman in a purple coat.
Well, he was far away. He was going round the corner of the hallway, just walking down. I just saw the back of him.
Yeah.
Sounds like Willy Wonka.
Shush. Shush. Willy Wonka.
Yeah, but apparently this hotel has a number of ghosts in it, and this is someone who people have reported seeing.
Well, hang on. What's the name of the hotel?
I think... I'm allowed to say it.
Well, you can. I love it when people go, "Am I allowed to make?" As long as you're not saying that they killed you and poisoned you. Yes, you can say the name of them. Yeah.
The Adelphi Hotel.
Oh, the Adelphi.
Mm-hmm. It's really cheap. It's cheap.
Yeah, very historic hotel.
Yeah. Oh.
And they had. And so you went down the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And you asked them. You said, "I've seen something."
Okay.
The Britannia Adelphi.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Right, hang on a second. Let me give him a little call.
Adelphi named as most haunted hotel in the UK, according to the
Oh,
Liverpool
my
Echo.
goodness. Chris needs to go there.
Yeah.
Chris needs to go there.
I'm going to phone them up. Let's have a little chat. I mean, we'll see if we can get someone. There'll be someone on reception.
Welcome to the Adelphi Hotel.
Oh.
Calls are charged at 13 pence per minute.
I'm not paying.
Plus your chosen company's access charge.
I'm not paying.
Calls are recorded for training and quality
We're
purposes.
recording it as well for spooky purposes.
Please listen carefully to all the following options.
Oh, can you do this, Sam?
If you have an existing reservation for up to 9 bedrooms, press 1.
9?
To make a new reservation for up to 9 bedrooms,
9?
Press 2. For reservations of 10 bedrooms
get caught
or
about
more,
Snow White again.
Press 3. For conference or banqueting enquiries, press 4. For directions or to speak to the hotel directly, press 5.
Press 5 for a Sam, because I can't do it this side. So you press. You press 5 for a Sam, and let us know when you have. We haven't got touch screen. We're there. Okay, here we go.
Welcome to the Britannia Adelphi Hotel.
Okay.
Please listen carefully and choose from the following options.
Sweet Lord.
Press 1 for reservations. Press 2 for conference and events.
Press 3 for ghosts.
Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Press 3 for the sales department. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
Oh, man.
Press 4 for finance. Monday to Friday.
Press 1 for
9
a
to
Sam.
5.
Press 1 for a Sam, please. I'm actually getting scared. You want someone to answer, go, hello.
Here we go.
This is it now.
Thank you for calling Central Reservations. How can I help you?
Hello, my name is Iain Lee. I'm calling from Talk Radio. We're on Talk Radio now. We've heard great things about your hotel. One of my callers, Sandra, is just phoned in to say that she stayed at your hotel, had a great time, but that she, and this might sound ridiculous, but that she thinks she saw a Victorian ghost. Have you heard? Do you get many of your people staying there saying they've seen ghosts?
Well, I can't help you on that because I'm not actually based at the hotel.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
Oh, no!
So, on that, I mean, I've heard it said.
Really?
But I can't comment further than that, unfortunately.
Okay, but that's the kind.
To speak to the hotel direct.
All right, well, we might give a call, but that's kind of the rumour going around the business, is it? That the Adelphi in Liverpool might be haunted?
I can't comment as to whether it actually is or not. You know, there may be rumours going around.
Wow.
I can't confirm or deny
All right.
either.
Okay. Hey, listen, man, nice one. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
You take care then.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. So I love that. I can't say it definitely is haunted.
Yeah, because it's...
Shut up!
What?
But there are rumours. Oh, all right. Do you know what, Sandra?
What's it? It's Britain's. It is Britain's state overlook. You should have a ghost night there, I tell you.
Okay, well, Catherine's a little bit more sceptical and closed-minded than you and I, Sandra. We're open to alternatives. If anyone has stayed at the Adelphi in Liverpool and had the willies put up them, 0344...
Do you want to hear the story from the Echo?
Yeah, go on. 499-1000.
Adelphi named as most haunted hotel in the UK.
Here we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Would you make a booking here? Booking.
Why are you doing it in a Scottish accent?
No, well, they would say that in
You're saying
Liverpool.
booking.
Boo, they've written boo. Boo.
Right, well, quickly, because we're going to go to the news in a minute. You're terrible with the times.
Oh, it's still loading. Well, come back after.
No, because we're going to talk to the Cunni Lingers people.
Well, we can mix them both together, can't we?
Right. Hey, Sandra, listen, it's nice to talk to you. Thank you for that. We'll see if anyone else has had a spooky experience. Let's go to Lou. Good evening, Lou.
Good evening. How are the both of you?
Good, thank you, Lou. What have you got for us tonight, please?
Good. I just want to tell you about whenever my son told me that he was bisexual.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Just with the conversations that you were having just a wee while ago.
Yeah.
He's 17 now. He has Asperger's, so things can be a bit difficult for him.
Yeah.
But when he was 15, he was walking out the door and he just stopped and he stuck his head around it and he just came out with it.
Boom.
He said, I'm bisexual. And I just looked at him and went, and? Like, so what? And he looked a wee bit confused. I think he thought...
He was waiting for some kind of backlash.
Yeah, and, he walked back in and, stood in front of me, and at the time, I was with my ex-partner at the time. Yeah. And I sort of said to him, and so what? I'll call him Kay. I says, Kay, I don't care if you're bisexual or what you are. Yeah. All I care about is, that you're happy, that who you're with makes you happy, that, who you're with, that you're safe with them.
And that's it.
I don't care who
and
you
as a
bring
parent,
home.
Surely... that's all. Even when I was younger, you'd hear about someone telling their dad they were gay, and they'd be kicked out. We've had calls from people who were kicked out of the house at 15 because they were gay, and their dad was like, "I don't want a dirty queer living with me." And I've never understood that, how you, as a parent, you could turn your back on. All I want for my boys is to be happy and safe and successful in whatever life they choose. That's all I want. That's it.
Like he went over and he sat down on the sofa and we sort of, we talked a wee bit more about it. And I said, I'd like to think that you've been brought up, as in how to treat your partner. And that goes for girl or boy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you're with, you know how to treat someone right. And I'd like to think that, you would know how to let somebody treat you and not let somebody walk all over you.
And that's, Lou, I've got to go because we're late for the news, and that's it. That's it. Respect. Respect, that's the word. It all boils down to respect. Thank you for that, Lou. And excellent, don't take this as a patronisation, excellent mumming, and I don't mean as in a medieval group of theatrical performers wandering from town to town. I mean as in being a mother. 0344 499 1000. Coming up after the news, Cunnilingus.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Take a far-out trip into the twilight zone of late-night radio with Iain. Unmissable late-night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Okay, so if you've got kids up listening to this at 5 minutes past 12, then you're a terrible, terrible parent. And we're going to inform social services. And also, if you're a kid listening to this, switch off, because this is we're now entering the blue zone. Adults only.
What was it, the red triangle they used to show?
Yeah.
Channel 4?
I meant it's going to be a bit sexy, so you'd set your videos for that. This is the Late Night Alternative. Iain Lee, Catherine Boyle, Monday to Friday on Talk Radio. Download the app. Listen on DAB. New DAB. Is that me?
Yes, it was you.
No, it wasn't me, actually,
Yeah, it
mate.
was. Mine's off.
Oh, I downloaded some hooky videos. They've put up loads of new DAB transmitters. That's why we're getting new callers, which is great. Now, Cunni.
My name's Catherine.
Sorry, I do apologise. It's what I think of. That's disrespectful. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tell me who we're about to speak to and how contact was made between them.
Okay. So yesterday, when I was talking to Holly Brooks, she'd written an article about sex and disability and how they're not mutually exclusive, and I noticed that someone liked our conversation and they had an intriguing name, and it was Cunni _me.
Yeah.
So of course I clicked on it. and I saw something quite extraordinary, and I sent it straight to you, didn't I? And said, "Look at this, flipping heck! Look at this."
Yeah.
It's a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
For a sex toy with a difference.
Or as we could call it, a lick starter, or some people called it a clit starter, which it actually is.
In many
ways. So it's well. We've got the inventors. Are they there? We've got Alison and Satiris, who are in America. Good evening, good afternoon to both of you. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hi, we're doing great. Nice to talk to you guys.
It's nice to talk to you. I can only apologise for Catherine's awful misunderstanding of international time zones. I'm really glad we got to talk to you.
Not an issue.
So tell us about Cunni. What is it, man? We love it. We love the idea of it. But what for our listeners? What is it?
Cunni is the first smart oral sex toy. It's a clitoral stimulating toy that moves like an actual tongue, so it can do anything on the X and Y axis. It could even spell the alphabet.
Wow.
And it's the first toy that moves like a human being can. So whatever you like from the toy, you can also get from a partner. And that's what we're emphasizing here, is pleasure should not just be, you should be able to get it with yourself, but also get that same level of satisfaction with a partner if you so choose.
Now, so here's the thing, right? So is it... vibrators, obviously, you can use as a couple and you can use as a solo thing. Is this like a self-masturbation toy, or is this to be used between, a couple and... you kind of mark it as a learning tool almost?
Yeah, absolutely. While vibrators are great and so effective, it can be used in a couple or by yourself. Yeah. What you like from a vibrator, you can't actually get from a couple. I can't be like, "Hey babe, can you vibrate harder?"
Yeah, that's the one trick. She's right. That's the one trick. I cannot make my penis vibrate.
You're not trying hard enough.
Need more batteries up there.
So they're a great addition, but sometimes they can replace the need for us to learn about our own bodies and learn about, have our partner learn about our bodies. So we call Cunni a learning tool because you can use it solo, but with our app, you can customize any emotions you like, save them. You can send them to your partners as a gift, so they kind of have a visual learning tool.
Okay.
And we even have a guide for people's language. So when you want to talk to your partner about these kind of tricky subjects sometimes, you need a little bit of help.
Yeah.
We guide you through the process. You answer a few questions, and we can suggest language and techniques to explore with your partner and kind of get through to them without offending them.
And also...
Go on, Satira, sorry.
Yeah, and also we're trying to build in functionality where it can be controlled remotely. So the person's partner could be at a distance with a secondary app, and then they can kind of control from a distance.
Hey, this is amazing. This is genius. So, potentially, the partner could be on the other side of the world, and you could be on the phone, and with your app, you're pleasuring your partner with your tongue, almost. Is that what you're saying?
Essentially, yes.
Wow.
It has the potential for that.
Now, listen, you two are a couple, is that right?
Husband and wife.
Husband and wife. Oh, I didn't realise. Okay, well, fantastic. So all right, I might ask something that's inappropriate, and if I do, just tell me to jog on. But I've seen some of your videos. I kind of get the idea that I could ask anything. So, Satiris, is this based on your poor...
Wow.
No, are you any good at this, Satiris, or is this to fill in a gap in your relationship, is what I'm asking?
I'm so good at it, I thought I'd have to bring it to the world.
Good lad. Good lad. Excellent answer. So how did you two come... what was the conversation then when you two were like, is it over dinner? Is it in bed? You're going, I've got a great idea, darling. How about this?
It was actually while we were shopping for sex toys together.
Okay.
So in my previous relationship, it was very loving, but it was almost sexless. Like we were completely physically incompatible. And it was really refreshing to be with Satiris, who was so attentive to my pleasure. I'll back him up on his claims. He's 10 out of 10.
Yes, Satiris!
He's a very cunning linguist. So when we got to the sex store together, he's a product designer and he's always looking for these gaps in the market. And he said, "Have you noticed how a lot of these toys are the same iterations of like vibrating silicone shapes, and there's not a ton of innovation in this multi-billion-dollar market. So we got to talking about my favorite way to orgasm, which is through cunnilingus, and how there isn't a toy that kind of accurately creates that sensation. And on top of that, even if we were to get it from a toy, why can't we get it from human interactions? Don't we deserve that? There's this huge oral sex gap where 80% of women say they enjoy it and only 40% regularly receive it from their partners.
See, now listen, I saw your stats, right, and that's the thing I don't understand, because, all right, it's 11 minutes past 12, we're going there. It is my favourite thing to do when I'm with a woman, even beyond like even beyond penetrative sex. Why would anyone not want to go down there and do that? That's the most fun.
I know there are several reasons, and a significant reason is sometimes the woman doesn't allow their partner to go down on them. It's seen as a very, very intimate act, and that's due to shame. We've kind of been socialized. If you're socialized as a woman, we have this built-in shame around our bodies, around maybe the odors and tastes, and there's just not a lot of dialogue around it.
That's incredible. I find that incredible. I'm embarrassed because I'm with Catherine, who's my producer and also my best friend, and I don't want to get. I don't want to ask you anything because I don't want to cross any lines or anything.
Oh, for God's sake! I've got 2 children. My lines have been crossed several times. But you're right. I mean, I think for a lot of women, and especially, I would say maybe a generation younger than mine, who they've grown up kind of in the era of internet pornography and women looking a certain way and feeling like you're never going to match up to that, right? And assuming that everyone looks like that. So there are a lot of women who just go, oh, God, I'm probably hideous. I don't want him to see that, and it's not true. And for a guy, I've yet to meet a guy who got to that point and then went, oh, actually, forget it. That's horrible. I think if they're already in that mood, they're going to go there, aren't they?
I have had men tell me that I should shower beforehand, and they did not do me the same service.
Wow.
They absolutely didn't do me the same service. Yeah. Luckily, I had to be comfortable enough in myself to know that wasn't my bad.
That was
it
their
was
problem.
Absolutely theirs. Yeah.
Satiris, have you two always been able to talk very openly about sex and what the other person wants? Because you're British like me, I think, and
yes.
A lot of the Brits are kind of reserved. And in my 20s and a lot of my 30s, I would be too embarrassed to say to my partner, so what is it you like? What do you want to do? What's going to make you come? What is do you like this? Do you not like this? As I'm older, in my 40s now, I feel a lot more confident.
And actually, as a younger woman, I've put up with things that weren't particularly nice.
Yeah.
I just think I don't want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah. Now I feel more confident about saying, do you like this? I can feel that I've not quite got this right. Where should I be? Have you always been good, Satiris, at kind of saying, having verbal communication about this sort of stuff?
I obviously it varies for everybody, but for me personally, I've always been quite comfortable with kind of open communication and trying to figure out and learn what that partner wants and what works for them. Maybe it's the way my mind works, but I like to kind of figure stuff out and
you're an engineer,
all of that.
Right?
Yeah. So the quickest way and the shortcut is just asking people and trying to be open to it.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think a big thing as well is like being able to check your ego at the door. And so a lot of men like to think they've got it all figured out. It's all down pat. What works for one person will work for everybody.
Yeah.
But in reality, there's such variety and such a difference of what works for certain people. And we really try to bring that back into the toy as well. So with the app, you can trace out any pattern you want.
Yeah.
Which means the toy can move in an almost infinite number of ways. And so it can really be tailored towards each user's own preferences.
Does it actually, how much like a tongue does it actually feel like? Because a tongue is, that's a strange old thing to try and replicate. How close is it? And don't give me the sales pitch. Come on, give me the facts.
No. It's incredibly hard organ to replicate. It's comprised of like 5 different muscle sets. You've got lots of different layers of texture and hardness. So what we've got is actually 3 materials that make up the tongue tip.
Yeah.
So you've got a sort of two different types of silicone that give it this kind of like nice softer feel, but then it's got a sort of slightly firmer inner core. And so you can still kind of apply a certain level of purchase to it.
Right.
And then with the movement, it can move in both the X and the Y axis. And so you've got actually a really wide range of shapes and patterns it can move through. And then you couple that with the speed element, so you can like make it go faster, slower, and so obviously it's challenging to get it 100% like a real tongue, but compared to anything else out there on the market, we believe it's a massive leap forward.
We've had 5 people alpha test it, and they said it was quite tongue-like. The only thing that it's not able to replicate at the moment is the feeling of a broad tongue. You know, when you make it very flat and soft.
Yes, that's my little trick.
Are you concerned at all that there are going to be a lot of men with lockjaw trying to replicate some of these moves?
That is the thing, man. If you do it after too long, your tongue aches, and you're just like, I cannot do it anymore. Let me have a bite.
Well, can I just say, I think that's a bit of a myth. People who get lockjaw and who have tired tongues most likely just start out super hot and heavy.
Yeah.
And 80% of the work, back me up here, Catherine, like 80% of the work is done in the lead up. You want to be really rearing to go by the time you even touch a vulva.
It's so true.
Why are we bringing cars into it? I don't understand what cars have got to do with it. Okay.
So what's the deal? You've got this Kickstarter. How close are you to making it happen? And what happens when how many will you be able to put out there? Have you got a decent kind of manufacturing thing ready? Are you ready to take over the world? Should Rampant Rabbit be worried?
We're halfway through our funding goal at the moment, so we're getting closer by the day. But we need more support, more backers, more awareness around this. And I think one of the biggest challenges so far with this kind of taboo subject is just getting media coverage, because people are naturally reluctant to share, especially on social media. It
isn't talked about, right? We talk about blowjobs all the time. Oh, blowjobs, blowies, and you get jokes about BJs all the time, man. And all kind of American sex comedies from the 70s onwards have been about blowjobs. And no one, the blowjobs are all right, but no one talks about this. And you've got the vibrators for the penetrative sex and the clitoral stimulation and all of that. But cunnilingus is a very... it seems you're right. It feels like it's overlooked in the great colour palette of sexual activity we've got. So if people want to get involved, guys, you've got this Kickstarter. I've just tweeted your tweet. It's at Cunni, CUNNI_me. Where do they go for the Kickstarter? What are you asking for? What's the aim?
Okay, our goal is to raise $50,000 and then they can if you just Google Cunni, CUNNI, one of the top links will be the link to the Kickstarter page, and then you can back us on there. And even if you can't back us, just sharing a link on social media and to people would help us out immensely. Okay,
I'm going to ask a question that I don't know. Maybe this is where they hang up. Can a man use it on his bum?
Oh my God!
Well, no, because again,
interesting. You should say that. We may have some future plans for a sister company called Remy.
Called what? Sorry, Remy.
Remy. Got Cunni and Remy.
Mate, listen. As soon as you get that online, I'm in with like $500. What? I'm in with like because that's even more niche.
What the world needs now.
I mean, seriously, when you get Remy up, I'm $500. I'm in.
Amazing.
Honestly, we're having a laugh because it's funny. But me and Kath think we've been watching all your videos. We think this is absolutely brilliant. We think you two come across so well in the videos, so steady on. Listen, we wish you the very best of luck. Would you keep in touch with us and let us know how it goes when you reach your goal and how progress is going and stuff?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Alison Stiris, it's so nice to talk to you. Thanks a lot.
Amazing. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Catherine.
Thanks,
you.
bye.
Well, there we go. You say thank you to those guys. They were great, weren't they, you say?
I want to see that in Dragon's Den.
Man alive, it's going to be in my den. My cave.
We'll never see him again.
You'll never see it. Oh, they're good for them, man. And the thing is, you're making a sex toy that's for oral sex on a woman. You've got to have imagine if they come on very, well, we believe that, but I still don't get why, it's why so many men. I get why women are perhaps reluctant for men to go down there. I get that.
And there are still women who don't want their husbands to look down when they're having babies because they think it's going to ruin the rest of their lives.
I wasn't allowed down that end, but I get that. I get why some women, a significant number of women perhaps are embarrassed or ashamed or just afraid. I get that, but men that say they don't want to do that, what the hell are you? What's going on, guys? Huh? You're not hungry? Oh, my God. 03, the switchboard is empty, so now would be a good time to... that's probably the 20 minutes that's going to get us the sack. They're circling. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Well, the show has gone from divorce, mental health, trans, cunnilingus. I don't know where we're going to go. We've got 37 minutes left. Where do we go? We've covered everything.
I can tell you about the ghosts in Liverpool. If you
go
want.
on. Let's have that. Oh, I forgot about the ghosts. Yeah, go on.
But yeah, I was going to say to you as well, there's another reason why women are shy about allowing anyone down there.
Yeah.
It's because there's a whole industry built up surrounding us, telling us that we're not clean enough.
Well, you want to be clean, but then also men want to be clean around their dinkle. You want to be clean. You want to be clean everywhere.
But the idea being that you are less
soap.
clean because you got a.
Oh, do you know what? Do you know what? That's interesting, and I bet that's going to be a thing at some point. Dick soap. I bet. Get a dick wash.
They should make a special applicator.
They have. It's out of the tube of Pringles. Oh my God! And a rubber glove.
A lot of my friends have discovered that minty body wash.
I love minty body wash. It just makes you feel alive. But do you know what?
Him waggling his eyebrows in there.
Mate. But do you know what? I bet because we saw, didn't we, about a month ago, an advert for soap for vaginas.
Yeah.
And we laughed, and people phoned in and went, no, that's been out for ages.
Yeah, it is.
And I bet dick soap's going to be the next thing. You want to?
They're going to call it that.
Well, no, but because they
call it cleanest.
20 years ago, there were hardly any male grooming products.
Here's the thing, and my granddad thought anyone who wore a man who wore aftershave, deodorant, nah. That's for effeminate men.
I remember 20 years ago you could get a bit of moisturiser for men, but men that wore moistriser, whoa, what the hell is wrong with you? But now men are almost up to speed, probably up to speed with women's hygiene and grooming products. So if there's a soap, as if you need a specific soap for your vagina, then there's going to be
sticking anything up there.
There's going to be a dick wash. That's got to be the next thing. You want your balls and your penis. You want your penis and your helmet to be nice and clean. Then you need this, and I will do the adverts for it.
Oh God,
I will do the.
I don't think it's your market. They want someone who's like a Ken doll down there.
No, they don't. They want someone. Ken dolls are smooth.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, ghosts.
Yes.
Give me the music.
Yeah. Oh, you want the yeah, sure. Here we go. Here's the ghost.
Let's change gears now.
The ghost
everyone.
music.
No.
Okay.
We've done that.
Here we go. Ghost music. There we go.
No.
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 You know?
It's not a. No.
Okay. Let's try.
No, it's not sad.
Okay.
It's spooky.
Shanty Pony.
Spooky.
I have to say this because he's a friend of mine. Iain Lee is amazing.
Thank you.
Flipping it.
Oh, I know the music. Oh, sorry, I'm not thinking it's because I'm so late. Here we go. Right.
That's the actual sound of the Cunni.
I need a favour. I need you to speak on this microphone.
Why?
Because the video won't have recorded. You need to make noise on that microphone.
Right.
So that I can...
Oh, God, really?
Yes, because otherwise this camera won't activate. Does it activate?
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay, here we go. Well, but don't make noise on that way. Will this camera activate? Okay, because this is what I want to show. Okay, this is it. You won't know what we were doing there, dear listener, but you'll see the video tomorrow and it will make perfect sense. I'm going viral with my tongue!
You should keep that clean.
Yes, mate. What you got? Go on. Give us a spooky.
Seriously, though, that would be a good sound effect for that.
Yeah, it would be.
What are you beefing on about?
Here we go.
A Liverpool hotel has been named as the most haunted in the UK by a paranormal expert.
Oh, yeah.
Who I tweeted earlier on.
Here we go.
The Adelphi Hotel on Ranelagh Street has been named most haunted hotel in Britain by supernatural investigator and author Tom Sleeman, who even claims he's seen some of the hotel's supernatural guests himself. By the way, this is from the Liverpool Echo. We're talking about Liverpool. He said... What? I'm being helpful. That was me being helpful. That was a little addendum.
You actually just did a facial impression of me. You went, what? What? That's what I do. What?
Well, maybe you're copying me.
What?
Don't blame you.
Copy you.
He said... The Adelphi, in my humble opinion, is the most haunted hotel in the UK, and some incredibly strange incidents have gone on in both the present Adelphi and the one that stood there before it in Victorian times.
Oh.
I often gave talks in the hotel's Sefton suite and was unaware that this suite is an exact copy of the Titanic's first-class smoking lounge.
Do we know that he's from Liverpool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Built by the same craftsman hired by the White Star Line. During one talk there was standing room only, and I and many other people saw 3 men standing at the far end of the room who were dressed as naval officers with white caps and dark jackets with the braiding.
The braiding bunch.
The middle officer, who looked about 60, had a white beard and stood about 5 feet 7 or 8, and the trio were there one moment and gone the next, and there were gasps of shock when this trinity of ghosts vanished.
Hang on a minute, so he was giving a talk about ghosts?
Yeah, and he saw a trinity of ghosts.
Some ghosts came to watch his talk about ghosts, and then everyone saw them, and then they vanished.
Yeah.
That sounds like bollocks.
Well, we can talk to him about it when he comes on the show.
Second question, can I use it on a man's bum?
Tom added, I was later told by a member of staff that you could use it on a man's bum. No, not really. I'm joking.
You won't get you won't get that on Tom Snorbrick.
No. I don't think he can do Scout.
No.
I was later told by a member of staff
cunnilingus.
that the ghosts were those of Captain Edward Smith of the Titanic and 2 unidentified officers.
Hang on, why would the ghost of the Titanic be in Liverpool?
Because it sailed from Liverpool?
Did it sink in Liverpool? Adelphi Hotel.
No.
So ghosts go back to dry land,
They
do
hang
they?
about. Who knows what they do? I don't know why they're always on the stairs, like they've forgotten something.
I wonder if there's, like, loads of bits of the sea that's haunted, like underwater.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Sky as well, I bet.
Okay, fine.
Remember that invisible plane on Howard Hughes?
Yes, I do. I've got that somewhere, yeah.
One of my favourite things that ever got said on Howard Hughes. I would love to see an invisible plane.
Hang on,
Spot the problem with that, guys.
Hang on a minute. Let me just play. Just play one clip of that. Hang on a second.
Grab pussy.
There we go. That was it. Right. Yeah. Carry on.
The present Adelphi was built the year the Titanic went down, 1912, and subsequently attracted well-to-do passengers due to travel to America on cruise liners from Liverpool. That answers your question, Iain Lee.
It doesn't actually.
A spokesperson for Britannia Hotels, who owns the Adelphi, has confirmed there have been reports of ghosts in the hotel by staff for a number of years. They said it wouldn't surprise me if it was all true. Over the years, a few members of staff have reported seeing a grey lady in a Victorian-style dress in the basement.
That's you. You were there, were you? Because you have not finished. This is a nice little grey lady in silly old clothes. It was you, was it, Kath?
You don't know how grey I am in the basement. We've also had reports of somebody hanging out of a window in the Crosby room, and when everyone went to check, the window was locked.
The David Crosby room, wow.
I've not personally seen anything, but it is the
ghosts don't exist.
oldest hotel in Liverpool, so I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Proof.
Well, that story.
Oh, here we go. Other spooky sightings at the Adelphi, according again to Tom Sleeman.
Okay,
Who writes about haunted Liverpool.
Sleeman Brothers, yes.
Raymond Brown, a 15-year-old page boy who died after becoming trapped in the baggage room lift of the Adelphi Hotel in August '61.
Yeah.
His ghost, resplendent in his cap and uniform, has even picked up the luggage of guests and carried it off to various rooms and corridors before vanishing.
Well, that's not true. Still, it gets you out of a tip.
Here we go. Here's another one. This'll be you. This sounds like a pervert ghost. An unknown whistler in the lift of the hotel who often breathes down the neck of guests and sometimes taps them on the shoulder. But with what? George,
I'm whistling.
I know. George, a man in a tuxedo with a toothbrush moustache.
Oh, hang on. Dave says this sounds an awful lot like the Scouse lady who calls yes word or S word.
Well, they do sound similar. Maybe the neighbours. George, a man in a tuxedo with a toothbrush moustache who calls to members of the public from a certain window in the Brownlow hillside of the hotel. Apparently he committed suicide at the Adelphi sometime in the 30s. Again, if he committed suicide, why would he still be hanging out the window?
Well, because his spirit has not been released to go to heaven.
He's been quite jolly, though.
If you commit suicide, you can't go to heaven.
Well, that's
Everyone
what they
knows
say.
that.
Finally, an identified female pickpocket ghost who's been seen rifling through guests' clothes and belongings in the early hours. She always disappears into thin air when challenged.
So this is... So from Howard Hughes' show, the other spooky thing I know about it is there is a street that has a time portal in it, and it causes time slips, and several people, including a copper, they never lie.
Never.
He fell down the stairs. Including a copper, have walked down the street in, like, the 1990s... and suddenly found themselves in, like, the 1800s. And they're like, shit, hang on a minute, whoa, what is this? And then they go back the other way, and they come back into the present day.
Like Good Night, Sweetheart?
Yeah. We'll take a quick break. You Google time slip in Liverpool Street, and then we'll speak to Nigel in Maidstone.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
You found it, haven't you? Let's speak to Nigel, and then we're going to find out about the time slip in Liverpool. If you've slipped through time in Liverpool, 0344 499 1000. You ever seen a ghost, Nigel? You ever seen a ghost, Nigel?
Have you ever seen a Nigel?
You ever seen a ghost, Nigel?
Hello?
You ever seen a ghost, Nigel?
Oh, sorry, I was just putting my shirt on and I thought there was an advert wasn't finished yet.
You ever seen a ghost, Nigel?
No, I haven't, no.
Thanks very much. What have you got for us tonight?
I would have just rung in to have a chat, really.
Aye.
Because I haven't rung in for a while.
We're having a bit of a spooky show tonight. It's been a little bit
when
naughty.
Is Halloween? Is it on Sunday?
No, it's not until next week. No,
Oh.
it's next week.
They're
No,
already
it's not. It's the
selling
week
stuff in
after
the
next.
shop.
It's the week. So the week Saturday's the 27th.
Yeah.
Then
3 Wednesdays away.
It's ages away.
Oh, is it? Well, they started selling things in the shops already, the pound shop.
Yeah,
They do, though, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't like a lot of it. I think it's creepy, all these skeletons hanging up.
I love skeletons by my chimney.
Well, I know, it's just upsetting when my mum's died, that's all. you know.
Well, yeah, I guess I can understand that.
There's that way of looking at it, you know.
There
looking
is.
at the dead, you know.
Well, there is, but I like Halloween. I'm gonna get a little pumpkin, and have some sweeties. Although I live on a street in the middle of nowhere, so I don't think I'm gonna get any.
Come knocking.
Yeah, come knocking.
I've been busy, Ian.
OK, that's that conversation done. Fine.
Yeah, I've been going through Mum's clothes, and there's a couple of coats that I could wear that she just bought for herself.
It's all tying up.
Yeah,
It's like Tony from earlier.
You know, like a Parker coat.
Yeah.
With the goggles on the front, the boggles on the front.
Oh, it's the toggles.
That like they used to wear on the on the scooters.
The toggles.
Not
the boggles. That's a word game.
You know that film that was on the telly?
Quadrophenia.
Yeah, quadrophenia. So I can wear that jacket, and there's also another coat that fits me all right.
Beautiful.
As well.
That's all right, isn't it?
So I'm going to make use of Mum's clothes. Tonight, I've made more room in the front room. I pushed the settee right back against the wall.
Yeah.
And I've altered all the cushions, and I've put 3 Miley Cyrus cushions on the top of the settee to brighten the room up. So I've got these Miley Cyrus cushions.
OK.
So, I mean, Mum wouldn't have them in there before, but as I'm on my own,
she had taste.
You know, it makes the room brighter.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I just started talking to on Facebook to Billy Ray Cyrus.
No, you haven't.
No, to tell him a bit about myself on his page.
No, you haven't been speaking to him.
No, not speaking to him, just making conversation on his page.
And has he responded?
No, they don't, because I've got so many people,
It's
haven't they?
unlikely he'll ever... I've just got to say this, man, because I've got your best interests at heart. It's unlikely he'll ever see it, but that's nice that you feel you can message. You can put messages on his Facebook page.
One of my Facebook friends has put a message on there saying that because I said I like Miley Cyrus so much that I deserve to have Miley Cyrus in my life. That's from one of my best friends on Facebook. That's a nice thing for him to say, isn't it?
I don't know what it means.
He said that I deserve to have her as a friend in my life, Miley Cyrus, after losing Mum and all that business.
Well, yeah.
It's not really the way it works, but...
Everybody deserves happiness. Everyone deserves to be happy.
I mean, I would like to meet her, obviously, because I'm such a big fan, and she knows that properly.
I prefer Taylor Swift. I'm about to go through a Taylor Swift phase, I think. I'm going to get myself some Taylor Swift album. Now I've seen her dressed as
a... She's younger than Miley, though. She's about 20, I think.
No, she's older than 20. She's got to be about 27 now, 28, I'm going to say.
No, she was younger than Miley.
Well, maybe she's grown older than her.
Then.
Hang on a second. How old is Taylor? Taylor Swift is older than 22.
Oh.
Catherine?
She's 28.
28.
Well, but in the video, in the film when she's with Miley, she looks younger than Miley.
I bet they both look younger, don't
they? How old is Miley?
26, that's all.
Well, she's younger than Taylor.
Yeah.
She's 25.
No, Ian.
I can't believe Nigel's picking me up for liking her.
Have you got anything you could use on my YouTube to play tonight? Any songs that you could pick up? What about Nigel's The Joker.
Not tonight. I haven't. No.
I would like to sing live if I could, but not. It's a bit late now because it's late, isn't it?
You could whisper a song.
I'd rather ring up earlier, maybe tomorrow night.
You ring up whenever you want to ring up.
If I ring up like 10:30, it won't be so bad if I sing live, will it?
Well, depends on what your definition of bad is.
Well, I usually do it about that time.
My uvula is still swollen.
Any chances? Are you going to do any more TV programmes or TV shows like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here?
Yeah, they've asked me to do it again this year, and I'm considering it. Yeah.
Could you get me in it? Get me in?
Yeah, sure, definitely, man. They'd love to have you on there.
Could you put a word in? I'd love to do it because I've not got Mum to worry about now.
Could you eat a spider?
Yes.
Could you put a snake up your bum?
But have you done those things? Those things?
Yeah, did all those things.
But you didn't like it though, did you? Half the time.
I loved it. At the time of my life. I paid a lot of money.
You did the most talking on the television because you was on the box all the time.
Exactly. I knew how to work it, so I'd get a lot of screen time.
Because he was talking with Anton Deck more than the other people.
Yeah, because I know how TV works, and I know what you got to do to get on.
Because you're used to being on TV before.
Exactly.
But the other people are not.
No, they're idiots. I hated every single one of them. I wish they'd all die.
Actors are not used to talking about their script.
No, exactly. And neither are thick sports people, like thick boxers and thick football men and thick Hollyoak actors. I hate them all.
Because a lot of them are no good without their actual script, are they?
All right, Nigel, thanks for your call, man.
Yeah, God bless you, Ian.
Thank you, take care. Tutty bye. 0344 499 1000. I messaged Shappy today for the first time in ages. I might go to Shappy next week for coffee. Just checking in, see how she's doing. This is the late night alternative on Talk Radio. Mondays to Fridays. We're here till 1, and then it's Thursday. It's Paul Ross, isn't it? Thursday night, Friday morning. Paul Ross at 1. His last one for the week. Dion, stay there. Coming to you after this, man.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
The late night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
It was disgusting. Telling Catherine about an intimate thing that happened in the jungle. I've never smelled anything so rotten in my life. The build-up around the
around the
helmet.
Oh,
Let's
God.
go. Let's go to Dion.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dion.
Yeah, what did you eat in the jungle then?
Pig's vagina.
Yeah, I did eat a pig's vagina.
I don't know. The worst thing over it was a badger.
Oh, back to you.
Did you eat its vagina?
I don't know. I just threw it on fire, kill all the fleas.
Did you eat a flea's vagina? I should have mentioned that to the Cunni people. Man,
I don't know. It was roadkill. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat a badger because they've all got tuberculosis.
That's why I threw it on a fire.
Well, fires don't kill tuberculosis, man. Are you nuts?
Well, I don't know, but it was cooked anyway. But I tell you, I wouldn't. Don't eat one because they're not very nice.
I don't think you ever ate a badger. I think you're making it up.
Well, there you go.
What did the badger taste like?
I don't know.
How did you catch the badger?
I told you I didn't catch it. It was roadkill.
Where did you find the badger?
Just outside Zagreb.
How did you start the fire?
I don't know. What, do you want a song about it?
I would like a straight answer. You didn't find a roadkill badger and eat it. Come on, man. Now this could be a pivotal moment in both our lives. Come on.
Well, I did.
You didn't.
Okay, then, it's down to you.
Come on, man. Come on. Dion, this can be a great moment. You did not find a roadkill badger outside Zagreb and then throw it on the fire to get rid of its TB and its fleas and then eat it. That did not happen.
I didn't say it's TB. It's just burn its fur off.
You said to get rid of its fleas and to get rid of its TB.
Well, no, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
TB.
Yeah, and you said, and that's why you did it.
No.
Yes.
I just threw it on there.
To get rid of its fleas. You said to get rid of its fleas.
Yeah.
Right. And then I said it had TB, and you said, yeah, that's why I threw it on the fire.
No.
Don't make me Sam, start finding the clip. I can play the clip.
How would you know it had TB?
Because all badgers have got TB.
Who says?
The government. That's why they cull them.
I thought you might have been talking to Brian May or something.
No. Here's the thing. I wonder. It's one of several things are going on. Don't worry about it, Sam. Don't worry about it. One of several things is going on, right? One of three things. I can see three possibilities. One, you actually did find a roadkill badger outside of Zagreb, and you cooked it and you ate it. Two, you didn't find a roadkill badger outside of Zagreb, and you didn't cook it and you didn't eat it, but you genuinely believe that you did. Or three, and this is the one I think, that you and I both know this whole story is bullshit.
Up to you.
And I just wonder why, man, on a show that is based on honesty. And we've been talking for years, Dion, and I've got a lot of time and I've got a lot of respect for you, But, you know, I share such honest, intimate details on this show, and I really hope that my listeners and callers feel that they can also share honest, intimate details and admit when perhaps... I can admit when I've been wrong, and I can admit when I've told a lie I can admit when I've been mistaken about things, and I can correct that, and I can apologise. And all I'm saying to you, brother, is if you told me the truth, I would respect you even more than I do now, and that's saying something, because I've got a lot of respect for you now.
Well, what do you want me to do? Tell you lies?
I think that's what you've been doing for the last 15 years.
Not about 15 years.
All right, 13 years.
Well, when you was on another radio.
Exactly, whenever. I think I know you're not telling me the truth. And I'm really I'm not curious as to why. Actually, I'm not bothered about why. I would love to hear the truth, because I think you would feel better if you were able to put down that massive boulder of fiction that you've created and just put it down, and you'd feel better, you'd feel lighter, you'd feel more relaxed if you just were honest with me. And this is a real place, Dion, where honesty is rewarded and applauded.
Well, I do know honesty is the best policy.
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't know what to say.
Did you find a roadkill badger outside of Zagreb and cook it and eat it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But what did you do with your $12 million?
Sorry?
Well, after you did all your stuff, I just looked you up at work, because I heard you for a bit.
Yeah.
And it said that you got $12 million.
Remind me what the $12 million was for.
I don't know, I'm asking you.
Well, where did you... Well, hang on a minute. You're the one that read that I got $12 million. What did I get that for?
I don't know. Maybe that's how you bought... You said you got a farm.
Right, here's the thing. All right, I don't have a farm. I've bought a nice cottage just outside Aylesbury. It's not a farm, and I haven't got $12 million. There we go. There we go.
It's a nice area.
Yeah, it's a nice area. There we go. I don't know where you got the $12 million. Maybe that was another gag I put out, but I don't think it was. I don't remember it.
It's not here. It's online.
Okay. Well, I've just corrected those two things. And one of you saying the farm thing's not true. That's a big thing, man. That's a big thing, because I like that little story.
Aylesbury is a very nice area.
Ah, well, I live near it. Let's just say.
Yeah, but it is a nice area.
Okay, but do you not see what I'm doing, Dion? I am confessing to you that I've told some untruths on the radio.
I've never heard you say one.
Right. Well, I'm confessing to you that I've said some untruths on the radio. Can we do a quid pro quo deal here where you confess to something that you might have exaggerated at some point during a call?
I retired last year, and that's it.
You were retired?
Last year.
Lancier? What's that? Lancier.
Last year. No,
Lancier. What's special ops?
Yeah.
2017. Yeah. Special ops.
I retired, and that was it.
But you were special ops?
I didn't say I was special ops.
Well, let's see what I'm trying to establish, Dion. I'm asking. Is that what you think you were?
No, I just did my job, and that was it.
I don't know what your job... I don't know what you're telling me your job was.
I told you.
Well, tell me again. I don't know what a lancier is.
I just sat about in the Balkans watching.
Because in the past you've told me you've killed people in China.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. No. I would not. Dion, I remember you specifically telling me when I was on LBC that you would had to go and assassinate someone in China.
No, you mentioned that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, because I would when
China and Hungary.
Yeah,
I've never been to China.
Well, then, Dion, everything you've told me is bullshit, because I specifically remember that. Hey, Paul, come in. I specifically remember that, and there will be people listening who will be able... You going somewhere, Paul? You got your coat on? I see. I specifically remember you saying that, and there will be people that will be able to track down the audio.
Go on, and I'll listen then.
Just tell me the truth, man.
Well, I've never been to China. I've never been to Hungary.
Okay, well then that proves to me that everything you said to me is a lie, because I remember you saying that. All right, man, listen, I've got to go, because Paul Ross is in, and he has been to China. You've been to China, haven't you, Paul?
I have, yeah. One of my daughters taught there. Both of them went there for a year because they did Mandarin, so that together was proper release.
Wow.
And I went over there a couple of times, yeah. Wonderful, amazing, huge country.
It's great. I only went I went to Hong Kong for a bit, and we flew over to Beijing for like 3 or 4 days, and it was scary. It was wonderful. It was thrilling.
Daughter number 3 was teaching up in the Sichuan province, which is up in the north for a year, and I went out there for 2 weeks. But it's like going... you know, because it's so vast.
Yeah.
You know, you got. I've been to Beijing very briefly, like you, only for 4 or 5 days, filming years ago, just after Tiananmen Square, in fact, years and years ago. But then you go to other parts of the country, and it's just astonishing.
Tiananmen Square was boarded up when we were there because they were doing it up. And we got spoken to. I was with this guy, James Bobin, tall blonde lad, and I was tall. And we got.
I mean, you were tall.
Well,
you stop being tall.
But we got questioned by someone who we thought he was like an old Chinese guy trying to, you know, chat us up. But then looking back, we're thinking, no, he was obviously the government.
Yeah.
And was asking us. He was going, so his English was incredible. And he's going, so whereabouts are you from? You're London. Oh, what do you do in London? And it was really weird.
And you both sleep with your feet in grow bags.
Yeah. Hello, Paul Ross.
Hello.
Nice to see you. What you got for us?
Something strange happened to me today. I've been looking forward to an item we're doing on the show tonight about passenger pigeons for some time.
Oh, what?
They're a bit of an obsession of mine. When the first European settlers went to the United States of America, passenger pigeons, flocks of them, would take 3 days to pass overhead.
Yeah.
They once estimated a nesting site in Wisconsin, 1871, 136 million of them, over 850 square miles.
Wow.
The noise was described as being like 1,000 threshing machines passing overhead.
Oh.
September the 1st, 1941, the very last one, named Martha, in Cincinnati Zoo, became extinct. They disappeared in that short time. Every single passenger pigeon. If you look them up, it's an astonishing story.
Wow.
Destruction of habitat, hunting, they're a bit stupid on the ground, but there were billions of them.
Yeah.
Now there's a scheme to revive them. And I've been after this academic for some time now. He's an American. He's on tonight. It's going to involve gene transfer and stuff. I've come in tonight and I've been sent an envelope with a PR product in it.
Yeah.
No note in it. Here it is.
Whoa! What?
It's a kind of flock-covered pink penguin. It's got a poor old stick-up-its jacksie, a pigeon. Look in there. I don't know what you're meant to do with it. It's for something called beakaboo.
You've just pulled like a dagger out of its bum.
And I think you're meant to put it in the ground or hang it or do something with it. But what a weird bit of pre-Halloween synchronicity. I'm chasing a story about passenger pigeons on tonight, and that's turned up with no letter, no PR note. That is weird, isn't it? What a great business we're in. It's my... have it as another housewarming present.
I don't want your... I don't want that.
Is it meant to be in the garden to scare away, I don't know,
I've got
herons?
to Google what that is.
Beakaboo, folks.
Wait, man.
Let's hope it's nothing unpleasant. But it's not a bad replica of a pigeon, is it? But it's just so weird. And how... I mean, I don't know where that's meant to go. It was in that aperture.
It's, it says Wingman app. It's a dating app.
Oh.
Why is it passenger messages, I suppose?
Maybe I will take it. 21st century matchmaking. Play Cupid for your single friend and become the ultimate matchmaker. See someone you like, make the introduction. So it's like
my single friend.
It's like Tinder, but for your mate. So you go, no, she won't know. Oh, she'll like this.
Oh, this is open to all kinds of abuse.
God,
You're going to pick horrible people, aren't you, for a laugh, to set them up on blind dates?
That says so much about you, Ian. I thought that was the old you. I thought you were over that.
No, very, very much the current.
Isn't this asking for someone to pick someone who they're going to fancy and go off with in the end? If you're
yes,
you
you're
know
right.
what I mean?
That's what it will be.
Well,
I like the look of him, and I can be the kind of the fallback person.
You're right. That's weird. You've got the pigeon.
Yeah,
guy,
today, literally, this turned up, and we've been chasing this story for a while. I wanted to do it on September the 1st, the anniversary of poor old Martha, quite literally falling off the perch.
Yes.
Didn't happen, then we got it on tonight.
Brilliant.
That and the usual old tosh, and a bit of a guide to the Weekend Heads TV, of course, and Mike Wall joins us, who's great fun every Friday and Monday.
For the first time in a while, I've got nothing this weekend. What should I be? What is there on TV? Give me one thing.
There's actually not a lot, to be honest. There's Strictly Come Dancing, and there's X Factor. Oh, Doctor Who's back on, and I'm not seeing the papers yet, but BBC 4 is always great on a Friday night, isn't it? Late, because it's always the music night.
Well, I don't know. We're working on Friday nights. I know you get Friday night off, but
last one of the week. The weekend starts here. Me and Kathy McGowan.
All right.
I've suffered enough.
Is Kathy McGowan still around?
She's still living with Michael Ball. They're an item. Have been for some time, decades. Yeah.
Are they really?
Absolutely.
Michael Ball, the singer.
Yes.
No, Michael Ball, the painter and decorator. What do you think? I'm being a bit spiky. Yeah, Michael, they've been together for 20 years, I think, him and Kathy McGowan. Serenaded by, of course, the brilliant Billy Idol in the Generation X song Ready, Steady, Go. I'm not in love with Bobby Dylan, I'm not in love with the Stones, I'm not in love with the Beatles, because I'm in love with Kathy McGowan.
Let's talk in about 12 seconds' time. Paul Ross will be up next. We'll be back tonight at 10 o'clock. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you to Cunni. Thank you. You missed it. Stay tuned. Paul Ross is coming up next.